I'm surprised you can hear that.
Uh,
I can barely hear that.
I get. You need to check your hearing then.
I'm like 3 rooms away from that.
Yes, we are. Anyways, how's it going?
Oh, shit.
What are you chaps up to?
Fucking nothing.
I am in Phnom Penh on the Paul Oakenfold tour.
Oh, I gotta put you on the other screen. Yeah, that's right. Guess I could do that so people can see you.
How
Sorry,
goes
everybody.
the tour?
So it was so the first leg is not my part. I'm not responsible for it, so it was fine for me. But it was I'm not gonna lie, it was a fucking disaster. It was like oh dude. So the whole thing goes fine. All the opening DJs are great, but they had the sound set up completely out of phase, which I could have fixed, but it wasn't my show, so I'm not going to go up and do that. And Oakenfold gets up on, and everybody goes nuts. Obviously, everybody's taking all kinds of who knows what, and he does like 2 tracks, and then the sound just blows. All the lights go out, sound goes down, everything. And so everybody's like, oh, and I'm like, oh my God. So they must have hooked up the sound, the, mega lasers and the moving heads and all the lighting into the same circuit. So it overloaded the breaker when they tried to give Paul Oakenfold all of the system. So they try to get it back on. He gets it back on, and he's just not happy with it. And he's like, you can see him just like going like, guys, what in the fuck's going on here? And he just walks off stage, and then the whole audience is just like, boo, and I'm like, oh God, this is bad. And they took him about 15 minutes to get it back going, and then there was no lights on Oakenfold for the whole show. So he had to play like with his phone as a light so he could see what he was doing on the DJ decks for an hour and a half. And then I swear, dude, spot on 2 o'clock, because he said he would go to 2 o'clock, but if it was fun, he would go later. But as soon as the second hand hit 2 o'clock, he just, boom, done. The final track was done, and he just walked off stage.
Wow.
Well, I would have done the same thing if I was him. I mean, come on, man. He's like one of the biggest DJs on earth. And it wasn't the promoter's fault. It was the sound guys that he hired. And so, needless to say, I'll have to see him reap one when I get back tomorrow, and I'm going to do a sound check the day before, and we're going to make sure that everything's split between separate circuits and that nothing like that's going to happen.
Gotta be honest, Cameron. I feel like you're burying the lead in this particular event.
I still don't really know what that means, man.
It means that's not even kind of the most exciting thing that happened.
Oh. Well, yeah, you know the most exciting thing that happened so far, Lane.
Mm-hmm.
But check it out. Here, look what I got. That's an Omega Speedmaster.
They can't see
Everybody's
it
got it.
That's a good knockoff.
because he didn't put it on the TV.
Yeah, that was there. So, there.
Pacers
so
are playing. I'm watching the game.
funny enough, they have an Omega dealer here,
What is that?
and like a real one. And this Speedmaster is so perfect. It's exact. It's like an exact replica. You would never even know the difference unless you were like one of the Jewish guys that looks at diamonds and shit.
I say if that's real, you should probably sell it and buy some equipment. So do we not get to talk about the most exciting thing that happened?
Yeah, I would leave that out.
Well,
That's too bad.
We were excited.
I wanted to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more about the
Dragon?
industry than anything.
Ah.
Got it.
Yeah, no, it's just industry knowledge. So it's like I'll put it this way: there's people that you don't want to be around in the industry. Paul Oakenfold's fine, but there's other people around,
Oh, like DJ Khaled?
Yep, yeah, exactly, like DJ Khaled.
And guys who drink Powerade.
All right.
So now we got Powerade, Thailand, and DJ Khaled are like our number one things we have to
I don't trust Powerade.
You also don't trust people that drink orange and red Gatorade.
That's fair.
That's because Red Dye 40 made by the government.
Okay, elaborate now. Let's see here.
Just saying.
Let's listen to Casey. This episode of Casey's
just saying.
Conspiracy
Red
Theories.
Dye 40 dangerous.
Oh wait, we actually had a top-level conspiracy theorist in the shop last night.
Ooh.
Really?
Was
Yes.
it our friend?
Kevin Gary says hi, by the way.
Oh, Gary was in?
Yes.
That's dumb, bitch.
Yeah.
You'd actually, Cameron, I'm pretty sure you'd like Gary a lot.
Yeah.
Gary's a very nice gentleman.
Is he local or?
Is it Fedora Gary or the other one?
Feather in the cap,
Feather
Gary?
hat Gary.
Got it.
Yeah, excellent.
I was thinking for a second there, I thought suit, fedora. Security at that one point.
Oh, no.
That one.
Not that one. No.
The T one.
Yeah, the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were drinking incredibly expensive tea.
We had some fantastic tea yesterday, let me tell you right now.
I
I
I
don't
ever
know.
tell you guys about
Oh.
Telerium?
I was busy working. That's what I was doing.
Yes, you were working. We were
Working
relaxing.
16 hours, you know.
What is Telerium?
So Telerium is a
Like a-
concept restaurant and bar that I'm going to be opening out here, and I want to talk to Lane about that actually because it's all tea-based cocktails.
Okay.
Do those
I think
work?
it'll sell really well because it's like all kind of iced tea beverages, you know, but like really
Mm.
high-end
Okay.
cocktails.
Iced
So
tea.
I found like a small little place. Actually, yeah. What's funny is that iced tea was the reason I came up with the idea with my buddy Eugene. Because we're working on booking a band called Body Count, which that's Ice T's punk band, and they're coming out this way, so we're trying to get him booked.
Is
I would
this
love
tea
that. Imagine that.
hot, or cold? Is this tea hot, or cold? Is it iced tea? No, Mr. Reeves. Well, then I just don't know. The best Saturday Night Live skit. I don't care what it says.
I thought the cowbell was.
No, for shame on you, sir.
You hate that one.
I can't stand the cowbell.
I need more cowbell.
Turns out neither can Christopher Walken because it ruined his life.
Yes, it did, because everybody comes up asking.
Everyone just yells more cowbell at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're going to be popular for something, that's not the worst thing. You know,
There are worse things,
People
yeah.
still call Darius Rucker Hootie, so I don't know if that's worse
Ooh,
or
yeah.
not. But every now and then
That's
he's
worse, I'm
he's
sure.
doing a Darius Rucker show, and everyone's like Hootie, and he's like, that's not. I'm not who I am anymore.
Say it again, and the country's
Oh,
coming
man.
out.
I mean, we've witnessed the worst. Like, I was famous for one thing and one thing only in person.
Oh, you mean other than Tim Russ?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh,
Yeah, that was that. He was
the Funky Carlton.
I
Yeah,
couldn't help
that's-
myself,
that's
Lane.
true.
I couldn't help myself that day. The one thing they told me not to do, I was like, you know what? I got to do it, mate.
I
Right
mean,
in the backswing.
you're not the only one at that cigar booth that almost got us thrown off the course for that exact reason. Every 22-year-old blonde bartender that we hired to do that, same thing.
I've been watching that Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum,
Yeah.
and sometimes he has some guys on there who go to cons, and you know, like clearly they're known for one role.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, when I'm out, sometimes people recognize me and they're just like, "Hey Lex, what's going on?" And he's like, I'm Michael, not Lex Luthor. But at the same point, like some of the people he talks to, they're like, I don't mind that. Like, you know, I understand that I'm a person portraying another person.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're a part of someone's life so much that that's just kind of how they remember you. Like, it's kind of humbling to be like, that's cool. It's annoying sometimes, sure, because, you know, you have to be like, no, I'm me, and that's a character. Like, me and that character have nothing in common. Like, Brent Spiner was that way forever.
I just like
for
that Captain
Data.
Kirk still does some of that stuff and goes to cons.
You know, he talked about that in the Captain's documentary.
Yeah.
For a long time, that bothered him, being called Captain Kirk. And then after like a few years of just like
Going to
somebody
cons.
being like, dude, get over yourself.
Yeah.
What else would you like to be known as? TJ Hooker? And he was kind of like, all right, you know what? That's fair. That's actually. I think
Danny
Patrick
Crane,
Stewart.
maybe.
I think Patrick Stewart actually is the one that like humbled him on that one when we
Yeah.
were talking about it. They're like, dude, come on.
I would imagine because he's always been cool with being called Picard in public and stuff. You know what's funny is you know what I'm famous for here that people scream out to me on the street.
Hey, it's the guy that shits himself in the street.
No, never in the street. Always behind at least a wall. But no, so I wrote this song based off of the 2002 press conference with Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, and I just took exactly what Mike Tyson said to the guy who told him that he should they should put you in a straitjacket, and he turns around and he's like, "I'll put your mother in a straitjacket, you punk ass white boy," and then he ends up telling him that he'll fuck him till he loves him, and so I turned it into a love song.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember this now.
When I walk down the street, people will just be like, "Hey Cam, fuck you till you love me." I was just like, I didn't expect that to happen, but it's funny.
If it could
you know?
be known for something, I guess.
Well, it's weird because I've written all this really extremely heartful music, like Searcher and Matches and all this stuff where I pour my heart into it.
Wait, hang on,
and then
hang on.
the one joke,
Hang on, you gotta go
the one
slower than
joke
that.
song
I
do-
gotta write these down for your LinkedIn. So, are you the writer, director, and the producer, or just like the writer?
Of what, the songs?
Yeah, like I'm gonna update
Yeah,
your
all-
LinkedIn. So hang on, I just gotta.
Well, I have that. Technically, the producer was, God, what was this? Is 20 years or 10 years ago now, so I don't remember the producer's name. Oh, D. That was his name was D. He was the producer. He was out of Los Gatos, but I wrote and did all the songs. But yeah, for that one, that was all me. And it's funny because when people realize that it's actually not, it's really Mike Tyson actually just said all this stuff, and then because at first people were like, "What?" and then after I tell the story, then people love it.
So really, for that song, it was written by Mike Tyson. You're just the performer.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's as written by Mike Tyson is how I have it listed.
Updated on your LinkedIn. You're good to go.
It's called "Till You Love Me," as written by Mike Tyson and performed by Cam Poison.
I like it. Solid. Could be your first EP.
I sent it to his management right before he fought Jake Paul because I was hoping that he was going to hear it just in time so that he could play that when he was walking out to the ring. They never got back to me though. But imagine that, him walking out to fight Jake Paul and it comes on a song based off of his Lennox Lewis
I
thing.
don't think that
That
they
was
would go
hilarious.
for that all that well, especially on live TV.
But you want to talk about
I don't know,
disappointing?
man.
He didn't come out to his original theme song.
Right?
That should have been
The one note.
the one note Mike Tyson fight song. Should have came out like that. Come on, it's Mike Tyson.
That is fair.
Like, let him have that one solid remembrance coming out to that one note, ominous. Like, he came out by himself, so it would have been perfect.
What was the song again that they played?
It was just some like random, like it wasn't even.
It wasn't anything that got him
No.
in the mood to fight.
No, it was. You were just like, oh, okay, we're just.
Turns out the way that fight went, he should have come out to Apollo's song from Rocky 3. Rocky 4.
Wait, the
Living
in America?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Living in America.
If he had come out Star Spangled Awesome like that, he would have had to win.
Well, no, because Apollo died in
That was in
4.
Well, then he
Yeah.
would have had to
Oh,
die then.
okay. You know what? Then he should have. He should have
That's what
came
I'm
out
saying.
Star Spangled Awesome.
Would have been incredibly
Living in
apropos.
America. Like Eddie Murphy could have been James Brown. Could have been singing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie, dude,
Netflix
when I
missed
watched
opportunity.
that fight, when I watched that fight, I could see in his eyes, dude. That I don't think a lot of people think he was holding back because he was throwing the fight. I think he was straight up holding back because he's done enough psychedelics to where he's like humble and he doesn't want to hurt people anymore. So that monster, the
I don't-
tiger.
But
in
were we
there
watching the
is
same
gone.
fight?
Dude, I
He
don't-
100% wanted to kill that dude.
I don't think it's that either. I think his plant leg was effed and he couldn't throw a punch.
You think
Well,
so?
that's
You think it
possible.
was just the knee problem?
Yeah, he had his one leg was injured anyway. He probably should have been allowed in the fight.
He did have the brace on, right?
And I don't think he was allowed to throw uppercuts. They said that was part of the contract.
Just ruins
Oh
boxing.
yeah, because they
Just
didn't want him to
ruins
hurt
boxing.
anybody.
Yeah.
Because that uppercut is mean.
Turns out not much to be afraid of for someone who's been boxing a little bit. I would have been afraid, but you know. Jake Paul did all right.
Yeah.
I would be terrified of a Mike Tyson
Oh, yeah.
uppercut.
I'd be like, hey, you want some
Well,
weed?
he
I got an
technically
edible.
throws the
Easy,
the
big
actual
fella. Sun's
strike.
going down.
It turns out the actual strike that Mike Tyson throws has a specific name. It's called a fish hook. Chuck talks about it. It's a specific type of uppercut, to where when you it's not just a straight uppercut. You have to. He basically baits you in and then comes up under, and then instead of going straight up, you snap back right underneath the jaw towards your face.
Yeah, it's more like
And
a
Chuck
circular
Liddell
motion
knocked
from the
out-
bottom up.
Yeah, and Chuck
'cause
Liddell talks about
as
it
he comes
in
in?
his book,
Is that-
because that's how he knocked out Randy Couture the second time he fought him.
Well,
And
that's
yeah,
an
it's called a
interesting
fish
piece
hook.
of knowledge.
I did not know that.
So what's going on in the world today, guys? What's world news?
So Andor came out.
Yeah,
Casey's
Casey's taking
has
this
the best summarization of Andor I've heard so far.
Fucking
He's so
What
angry
is
about the
Andor?
I'm
Star Wars
It's a
series.
Star Wars thing.
so fucking fuck them. Okay, how about that? Fuck them. You don't have to watch it. I'll summarize it for you. Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Andor starts off on a random planet in a random bunker with a very well cinematographed white hangar bay, very imperialistic, very pretty. You're like, oh, this is nice. And there's this advanced TIE fighter. And you're like, okay, cool. Advanced TIE fighter.
Casey, am I allowed to jump in?
Yes, you can
Okay.
jump in when you'd like,
Okay.
but you might get my wrath.
Yeah, I'm okay with that part.
All right, fine, that's good. So anyway, from this moment, remember the last 3 episodes of Andor, really fucking good.
Yes.
So the promise is, all right, they found their stride. We've waited 2 years for this. Gonna be good. Gonna be real Star Wars. And then cut to like Andor standing in the shadows, looking out at the snowy planet they're on. Could have been Hoth, whatever. Doesn't matter. And then this chick comes up and she's like, oh, I've never done this before. I don't know what being a clandestine spy is like. Are you sure they're not gonna fight me? Ooh.
I don't, for the record, I don't know when they decided that Star Wars needed to be a soap opera.
Yeah, very, very like, and he gives a decent speech about like how she's doing this for the greater good and how, you know, once you make this decision, you made it a long time ago, it'll be fine. Whatever, doesn't matter. He then goes to this ship, walks out, holding a blaster, shoots a droid, kind of like a badass, and you're like, all right, Andor's got a stride. This is cool. Gets in the ship.
It does start mean.
Mean, hardcore, like
Yeah.
straight up. And I'm like, this is great. Gets in the ship and like looks at the chair and is kind of like, this is what I have to sit on? What? Because it's like a stool. And he can't lift the chair up. And he's like, okay, maybe you just like, he starts pushing buttons randomly to turn this bitch on. And then the chair sits up and the arms come out. And you're like, all right, cool. He knows how to do this. Homeboy gets in there, instantaneously pulls a fucking Independence Day. Ship comes off the ground, goes backwards, slides into the sidewall, flies up into the ceiling. This is the most armored TIE fighter I've ever seen in my life, because if you sneeze on these things, they fall apart. And he's crashing it, and he can't fly it, and it's like he's fucking drunk trying to figure it out. And then at one point, he shoots the fucking laser beams off, and he can't fucking get it to go straight. And then these 5 or 6 stormtroopers come out of nowhere.
This is, mind you, the protagonist. And they immediately made him clumsy and buffoonish.
Yes. So he somehow manages to shoot this guy while avoiding a missile and then decides, oh, I'm just going to shoot holes like Swiss cheese through this fucking blast door and get out. Busts through the motherfucker, flies off, almost falls off a fucking cliff, and the ship magically dies.
Doesn't so much fly as it like jumps onto a slope and then slides.
Yeah, not once does it now fly. So I'm like, oh, he clearly broke it. No. It's just out so that you can see the other 2 TIE fighters coming at him. And you're like, oh no, the suspense is killing me. Will he get the ship off the ground before they get here? No, yeah, he does. And then
Mind you, this suspension is basically useless because he's in a movie after this series. We
Yes.
know what happens.
he's not going to die because he's the main hero. Somehow manages to fly this thing into a canyon and scrape every wall and rock and wall and snowbank while maintaining its integrity somehow. Again, if you sneeze on a TIE fighter, it fucking breaks.
Hey, you said it was heavily armored.
Heavily armored. heavily.
Clearly.
Like Deus Ex armor cannot be destroyed. He kills these dudes by shooting missiles into a tunnel, and he escapes, and you're happy, and you're like, oh, cool. That's how we're starting this off.
Why does this sound like the Phantom Menace over again?
No,
to go and just see if
the
it's-
Phantom Menace is better. Anyway,
Oh God.
yes,
Really?
yes, 100%.
No.
This is the first 5 minutes, and already you're like, okay, the main character is a fucking buffoon,
Yeah.
and clearly this is how the rest of this comedic, we don't understand shit's gonna happen, right? Okay, cool. Cut to him landing the ship on a planet with jungly atmosphere. Cool. Gets out and gets taken by what can only be described as the worst collection of redneck lost boys I've ever
Wait, now,
seen
did
in my
he
life.
leave the one planet to another planet at this point?
Yes, he's left the ice planet and he has traveled to the jungle planet.
Gotcha.
Spoiler alert, it's for fan service.
Yes.
Yes. Now we cut to Planet Kansas. That's what it's called. It doesn't have a name. Fuck off. It's farmland, farmland, farmland. It's
Trailer
Planet
park.
Kansas. Legit. It's just wheat for days.
Yeah, at least they can make some whiskey.
No, they don't use it for whiskey.
That's sad.
I don't know what they use it for because clearly people should be drinking by this point. And you're supposed to feel sorry for these people because they're hiding and they're farmers and they don't know what to do. And they're like fucking 20 minutes of talking about nothing. And you're like, okay, cool. Why do we care? And then you go to Mon Mothma on her planet. She's having a wedding. Again, we've left our antagonist with redneck lost boy hillbillies.
Wait,
Tied up.
protagonist, right?
Yeah, just dumb. And now we're talking about this wedding that we're supposed to have. At no point at all have we gone anywhere in the story.
There is, for the record, for the entirety of the 3 episodes in the wedding planet scenario, no meaningful development to the storyline at all.
Except for killing the one guy. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they don't actually do. They just imply.
Okay. Implied killing of a guy. Yes.
Which, why that's a thing? I mean, the Empire has clearly murked people in the past.
very violently.
Yeah.
Yes. And they will do it again. So killing people, not a problem.
Yeah.
So we're on Mon Mothma's planet, and they're sad, talking, whatever, bullshit. No one gives a shit. Like, fuck off. I don't care. And then Stellan Skarsgård's character, totally wasted for this. I don't know why he's even there. They must be paying him a lot. He shows up, drops like 2 lines of dialogue that actually matter, and then, again, 20 minutes of nothing. End of the first episode. That's
Yeah.
how it ends.
End scene.
Done.
Is it out
That-
entirely already?
No. This is just the first 3 episodes.
So they're doing it 3
Okay.
episodes at a time.
Got it.
Yeah, but this is also a time jump. So it's 1 year after the end of the first season. So we've gone from 5 years before the Battle of Yavin to 4 years before the Battle of Yavin. Okay? Cut to episode 2. In my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. You got the shitty episode out of the way. You have established some shit's going to happen now. Because they already told us that every 3 episodes is 1 year representative of time. So you'd think these episodes should be moving really quickly. Spoiler alert, they
Yeah,
don't.
but in theory, if they were writing this, as writers,
Mm-hmm.
you would have escalating action through each 3 series split,
Action would be the key word.
and then also escalating action through, like, woven through the entire series.
I've seen more action in Days of Our Lives.
That's, legitimate,
Yes.
factually accurate.
General Hospital has more action than this whole series, and that's saying a lot.
I think Days of-
Are you basically saying that the Oscars when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock was a better fucking climax than the entire series of Andor?
More action took place in the slap of Chris Rock than has taken place in Andor.
This is what I think, right? So I'm going to interject this one thing. So I think, all right, so this is my theory of action, right? You can either do like the original Star Wars series did, where it was sort of dialogue and action intermixed, and a lot of the dialogue happened while something else was happening, right? So they were running from something or fighting something, but a lot of the dialogue happens amongst the action. So you can sort of weave it together in like a coherent story, or you can do like the John Wick, Quentin Tarantino thing where it's furious action, and about the time that the audience feels like they need to breathe, it stops for a little bit of dialogue. This does none of this.
No.
And I don't know when everyone decided they could write dialogue like Aaron Sorkin, but they're all wrong.
Yes.
All of them.
Just because you have a camera that can walk and talk doesn't necessarily mean that you should use it for every bit of dry ass dialogue that you can.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well,
we cut
it's
to
interesting
episode 2.
what you guys just said, just so I can interject so that other people can understand it. It might not be, but I understand what you're saying, Elaine. Is like it's the same thing as when a DJ does a set. Like the best thing you can possibly do is build it, and get it to the breaking point where literally hippies are about to pass out on the dance floor because they're dancing so hard, and then you give them a break and then that's where that dialogue comes in for a moment, and then you rebuild back again.
So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is where they're both happening at the same time. Now the action builds and the dialogue fades, but there's always some dialogue and always some action, and they just sort of like work together with each other. This does neither of those things. Like neither plausible theory of an action film works.
No. Because it's not action. It's drama.
Yeah.
It's 100% drama. 100%. So we get to episode 2. Episode 2 starts off with the Lost Boys arguing amongst themselves as if there was only one piece of meat.
It's not even the Lost Boys. It's like a very poorly written Lord of the Flies.
I was gonna say it's kind of like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
But they somehow, it's not explained how they got there, by the way.
Or who they are.
Or who they are.
Or what their purpose is.
Or why they're there. It's just magically that they have been there for a couple of days. They apparently killed the guy that Andor was supposed to meet and somehow managed to crash a ship. So they're a bunch of bumbling idiots who can't fly. Now they have Andor's advanced TIE fighter, which, by the way, Andor can't fly. And they're arguing amongst themselves about how to not only get all 15 people on this tiny ship, but what they're going to do with it while Andor is just there wasting space, getting paid to not say shit.
Yeah, really serving no purpose to those scenes.
100%. No. And then we cut to another planet that we're now introduced to where the magic, mythical, imperial meeting of doom is happening in the Fortress of Solitude.
How many planets are introduced now at this point?
I don't know, a bunch.
Don't
Like-
matter and
like
have
4.
and don't
Yeah.
drive the story?
Like 4.
It's so
and
scattered.
they're none you've never heard of. So they're having this clandestine meeting, and we are introduced to the Grand Moff guy, who we know from Rogue One, who plays a very good villain. He delivers really good lines. Like, he has a sort of evil sliminess to him. That
Yeah,
you
like
go,
he has a perfect like evil schmarmy thing going.
Yes, 100%. Dukes of the Flies. Yes, 100%. It is Dukes of Hazzard meets Lord of the Flies. That's perfect. So these guys are having this meeting, right? And he starts off very like, here's this planet. Here's what we need. The Empire has this plan. The Emperor wants us to do this. He needs unlimited usable power. Pretty evil. Sounds evil. And you're like, okay, I'm for this. I understand this. Now, mind you, we are removed 20-ish years, right, from Revenge of the Sith, where we know the Empire has killed a bunch of Jedi, taken over the universe. We already know that they're evil bastards, right? They've destroyed the planet of Mandalore. We know this. And he goes, this is what we need to work on. And cues in a 1960s travel infomercial commercial for a planet that's now introduced again about spider silk t-shirts that the Emperor really likes. and that this spider silk production
Dude,
planet.
you're making this up.
Dude,
You
he's
gotta
not.
be
I
making
am
He's absolutely
100%
Now,
not.
If they had, all right, I told Casey this before. If they had shown the old 50s video, I will say the one thing it is shot beautifully. It looks amazing.
The propaganda
Just
video.
all of it. No,
Oh,
the whole series.
Like being in this Temple of Doom, like it's got a big monotonous fireplace that's putting off these shadows. Like a lot of these dudes are sitting in the dark. Like it feels very evil. It's very
Silence of the lambdas.
oh, dude, 100%.
So-
I like that.
If he'd shown this video, evil schmarmy Grand Moff guy, if they'd shown the video, and immediately after the video, he looked at the group of his minions and said, all these people are going to die. I would have been okay with it, and it would have fit.
Oh, it would have felt so good. You would have been
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh. No. He then cuts and goes, what are we going to do about this planet? Because the mining procedure for it is going to destroy the core of the planet, and we need to worry about the 800,000 inhabitants of the planet.
Mind you, in Star Wars canon, they've
Wait,
already
this is the
glassed a
Empire
planet.
that's saying
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the Empire.
So in Star Wars canon now,
What?
they've already glassed an entire planet for the purposes of mining. And he's like, we kit gloves. Like, what are we going to do about these people? And you're like, I don't.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
We-
I know what they
Oh,
would do.
God.
We need to save the Emperor's favorite shirts.
Mm-hmm.
This is just terrible. I don't know if the tariffs are gonna let them happen. I don't know what we're gonna do. Ooh.
Oh man!
And then it goes
This is
around
just-
to these
this is-
two,
this is-
like-
I swear to fuck, dude. I'm sorry. Let me interject real quick for 2 reasons. One is because I cannot believe that this is where this has gone. I did not expect that. And 2, I am gonna have to fuck off because I got to get on the bus and get back up to CM Reap. But this is. I'm gonna jump in the chat as soon as I get. The bus has Wi-Fi and all that stuff. So. Thanks, guys. But yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm loving this. I got to listen to the rest of this shit. 'Cause this is what in the. You
Yes.
have got to be kidding me that this is how far.
This is how
has
far
gone.
Star Wars has come, and we're not even to the worst part.
Yep.
We're not
That's
even there.
not come. That's gone.
There's more.
There's a,
There's more.
I'll be as soon as I'm on the bus, mate. I'm going to be in the chat.
All right.
But love you guys. Thank you so much, and yeah, welcome to Phnom Penh. And
Yeah, man.
I'll
We'll see you
jump in
next
the
time.
chat. Yeah. By the way, Christian did send me an email. He's making phone calls, so that's exciting.
I haven't
Cool.
seen him in the chat yet.
Perhaps we will be able to save something with a really good narrative that's not this ridiculousness about spider-woven t-shirts and fucking the Empire
Spider silk.
worrying about the Empire caring about King planets. What?
The,
Oh my God!
the Emperor
All right,
wears
guys.
no clothes. Just spider silk shirts.
I'll be in the chat soon.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, man. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. So, evil meeting. And these two, I'm going to describe them as how they come off. Like Wall Street bros.
Yeah.
100%. They are so proud of this propaganda wave that they have allegedly created about the happiness of this spider silk churning planet. And they're just so proud to tell you that they've done evil things. Not really explaining that they've done evil things, but they're just like, yeah, bro, that was us. We did
Also,
that.
like, not amazingly evil, like
No.
quasi-evil. evil.
Yeah, again,
Like-
Wall Street bros.
Like Bart Simpson and Cartman, like, I cut off the head of the statue, and I once killed a kid's parents and fed him to him in Chile.
No, it's better than that.
Yeah.
It's they legitimately did the dark helmet thing. Fooled you.
Yeah.
So they get up and they're like, yeah, that was us. All right, cool, whatever. Then it cuts to another guy and they're like, well, how's destructive is the mining gonna be? Essentially, by the way, what they're talking about is fracking.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is the imperial version of fracking. We need to get layers of this material from under the planet's surface and it's destructive. Turns out that's just called fracking. And if we can do it in Texas, I'm pretty sure we can do it on this planet.
I mean, that's how
But
they
it
get
doesn't necessarily sound very evil. It's not like we let a whale go and we've killed baby seals. No, it's we need to frack this planet with 800 people, which you could legitimately move. Okay, if they were being serious, hey, something's wrong with the planet. You gotta get
I mean,
off.
the number of times that they tried to link this to the Trump presidency is obnoxious.
You can make the ties to what's going on currently, and it turns out if you want to do that, I have a show for you that does it a lot better. It's also in space if you like science fiction. Anson Mount's in it, and it's fantastic. Anyway, so you're like, okay, cool. None of these people are evil. They're just dumb. And then it cuts to the fucking spy chick with blonde hair from the first one, who's a whiny bitch. One. And she's like, oh, I already have this evil plan. And she goes, you need people who can do bad things like a resistance. She's literally making it sound like the Empire is creating the rebellion.
Yeah.
but on this planet. And I'm like, oh, is this where the story's going? You just hired the Bad Batch guys and they decided not to kill 800 million people? Like, what exactly is going on here? Like, what are you trying to take credit for? Now, we cut back to planet Kansas, where we are. Mild-mannered Smallville planet without Clark Kent. And again, you have no explanation for why this planet exists other than that it grows wheat.
And it's a hiding place.
And it's apparently a good place to hide because it's massive and there's just these little tiny villages where people live and they farm.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
Kansas.
I also don't know about the strategic value in hiding in a place with open fields for hundreds of miles.
Yeah, I mean, you could hide like Children of the Corn style, I guess, if you really wanted to, but they're not even doing that.
I don't think the wheat's that high.
They're like in this bright red hut in this dry ass field. You could see them from space. Literally. Be like, we could just shoot them with one missile, not even waste the ammo. And they're talking about this ship that shows up. Mind you, I've never seen this ship. I don't know what the fuck ship this is. But the camera does this slow pan up to the atmosphere, and you see the ship, and they're like, oh no, it's the Empire. That could have been a Star Destroyer.
No, but it's not even that good because at first he's like, I don't know what that is. And someone's like, it looks like it's the Empire.
It's the Empire.
So-
Oh no.
Well, of
So
course
both of
it's
you
the
watched
Empire.
this.
Yeah,
Huh?
I watched it.
I
didn't
told
want-
Lane not to.
I didn't want to rag on it without watching it. Now, mind you, I spent at least 45 minutes, the bulk of the second episode, on a spin bike, also listening to a podcast. It was that engaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I sat in here and watched it because I was like, I'm going to smoke a cigar if I'm going to be this angry.
Yeah, nothing else better to do.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Now, so this ship shows up, and it's one ship, mind you, on planet Kansas. And you're like, okay, the Empire showed up. Somehow, they have also...
Wait, for the record, it's an auditing team.
Yeah. It's not even like... It's not even like... Because if it was a Star Destroyer, you'd be like, oh, there's a bunch of troops about to show up. This is serious. It's like your Uncle Sal who's like, hey, the IRS might be here. I don't know.
You remember that
I
one,
don't know. I
homie?
don't-
Like the fire marshal's coming
Yeah,
through.
hey, we probably shouldn't park that tractor on that field. It's a fire hazard. We should be careful. At no point are you like, oh, okay, cool, the Empire's here. It's not ominous at all. And it could have just appeared out of like hyperspace over the planet, and you would have been like, oh shit, that's a Star Destroyer. Something happened on planet Kansas. But it's planet Kansas, so clearly it can't be that exciting. But somehow this ship has also knocked out communications for the entire planet. In the Phantom Menace, it took the entire planet being blockaded to knock out communications. But the Empire is really badass now, so they can just do it with one
They
shot.
magically
the
developed
South.
over the horizon signal blocking.
Yeah. Apparently, they just parked above the one satellite that leaves the planet, and we're like, no more collect calls. And again, the story goes nowhere. There's no reason to be here for an audit.
Yeah, there's still
really.
no development. It's all just by chance.
Now you cut back to the jungle planet, okay, where the Lost Boys, Lord of the Flies, have now distributed themselves into two teams of equal, angry, hating, shooting at each other, 20 feet apart. They are 20 feet from each other in a field, and they shoot worse than stormtroopers. It's embarrassing.
They
for
could
one.
be the stormtroopers.
No, stormtroopers hit better. It's embarrassing because they're yelling at each other. They have no food rations. Again, I don't know where the fuck these guys came from if they have no supplies. And they're trying to... One team is trying to figure out how to use the TIE fighter. The other team is just in the busted up ship like, I don't know what we're going to do. We should probably try to figure it out because we don't know. And Andor's like... it's pretty quiet over there. Maybe you guys should do a perimeter sweep. Because all of these dudes are sitting in the ship. They could have been attacked, and this could have been over in 5 minutes. But it's not. They're arguing, and they're bickering. And the other guys on the TIE fighter are legitimately trying to turn it with ropes. So they can shoot the lasers off the TIE fighter and kill everybody in the ship. Because they can't hit them with blasters, so they're going to use a ship they can't aim to kill these guys.
I mean, for the record, there's only one character in this is going to sound sexist, and I apologize. There's only one male character that is sharp and pithy and deliberate in the entire episode, and it's probably because he refused to do anything else. It's Stellan Skarsgård. That's it. Everyone else is useless, including the antagonist. The women are all deliberate and sharp and know everything, and the guys are fucking useless.
Yes. I don't know how this got passed. For one, I don't understand it.
I don't know if I ever want to go back and watch this. I didn't even watch the first one, to tell you the truth. After the first couple episodes, you told me.
Yeah, no.
Then you told me it got better at the end, and I still didn't go watch it.
The first season is 13 episodes. The last 3 are the only 3 you'll ever need to watch.
Yeah, that's true. They're both like the slowest of slow burns you've ever come across.
Do you think they're doing the same thing then?
I mean, not intentionally.
I
think they just don't know how to write.
They don't know how to write.
I don't think they know how to write.
There's no writing, okay? Because so we leave Jungle Planet, we go back to the Wedding Planet, right? The Wedding Planet, where Mon Mothma is, prolific rebellion leader at some point.
This is the Wedding Planet, for the record, is an allegory to Generation Me Time.
Okay.
Yes, because the negotiated wedding from the first season is now taking place, which saved Mon Mothma from her debt and her embarrassment in her circle of high class society.
Got it.
Right? So that's how this is set up.
There's a whole scene where the female betrothed to be in the fixed wedding is like, they have to spend, I don't know, 90 seconds to 2 minutes, like having her being comforted because the guy that she is betrothed to wouldn't hold her hand.
Yes.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. Legit. Yeah, I know. My brain hurts too, and I watched it. So this is going on. And the only interesting tidbit of plot is that Mon Mothma's oldest friend is the guy who helped her start the rebellion, kind of, and knows what the rebellion is starting and has been hurt financially by the decisions made of the rebellion. And Stellan Skarsgård's character is worried that he is going to reveal it to the wrong people.
Yeah, so he's the rat.
That's the only plot that takes place in episode 2, right?
That's worth anything.
That and you have to really look for it because it's not well written.
I mean,
it's
far
subtle.
Nothing has actually happened.
Nothing has happened. And then they have a breakfast before the day of the wedding, and
There's a hike.
A hike.
It looked like a pretty hike.
In the hillside.
I mean, we have that here.
Yeah,
pretty hikes.
No, hillside somewhere. Whatever, doesn't matter. We then go back to Coruscant, by the way, because yay, you need a planet that people actually know is a planet. Coruscant.
You know who has hands? The devil, and he uses the
uses it for holding. Yeah. So we go to Coruscant, where blonde spy chick has come back with her spy master dude. Right? These are spies. These are intelligence officers. Right? And I know naval intelligence is a joke and should never go together. But the amount of joking that is written into these characters, blonde chick looks at her boss and goes, "I don't want the job." That she clearly established she already has a plan for. And you're like, what do you mean you don't want the job, bitch? You just got the job. Like, you should be happy to have this job. You already have a plan for the job. It's in the Legion of Doom office where everyone else was a bunch of fucking Wall Street bros. You have a job.
It's this whole like falsity that the best leaders are the ones that don't want the job.
Yeah.
General Patton went through all of World War II and all of World War I for that matter, and the Academy wanting the job.
100%. He probably still wanted the job when they were like, you need to retire. He was like, nah, I think we can find some
He didn't
people.
retire, he died.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I ain't going out. I'm going to die.
He wanted to go into Russia.
Yeah.
Not all leadership is modest people
No.
who are forced into the job.
100%. 100%. But so you're like, okay, cool. You know what? You don't want the job. Again, I don't know why they have this conversation. It does nothing for the story.
Yeah.
You then get a 20-minute scene where she's in her apartment dating this Weasley guy from the first episode who had the worst mother on the planet.
Why they brought this character back is beyond me.
She is so fucking annoying.
Well, and they give the spy chick her like boss girl moment when she stands up to the mom, and you're like, I just can't.
It's unnecessary for one, and two, the spy chick would have killed this dude way before this happened. So I don't even know how they explained it. But yeah, she gives this speech to the mom, and it's a gigantic waste of time. It's like 20 minutes. Now we get to one of my bigger problems.
They do show the guy go and like collapse on his bed because he's just so distraught he doesn't know what to do. Like it was just another opportunity to make guys look dumb.
Yeah, he's like crying, like, oh, I can't believe I invited my mom to this dinner. It's so terrible. Ugh. Now we get to one of my bigger pet peeves for this entire thing. And I was talking to Lane about this today. Disney does not understand the set precedent of who the Empire is. All right? The Empire, for what we know from the first movies, and that's where we introduce to our understanding of how everything works, right? In A New Hope, they have a strong, like, load of people that they can use. They over militarize everything. Like, if they're going to do something, they're going to do it like Russia style. We could make one T-81 tank, or we could make 5,000. And the Empire's like, we make 5,000. And it's like, you could capture a town with 100, and they're like, yeah, but we could send 1,000 because we made 5,000.
Well, this is it. They're trying to rewrite the Empire, right? Like, I mean, in some level, the Empire was a bit dictatorial with the Emperor, but largely the commentary and the like surrounding the Empire through the first series was a commentary on 1960s communist Russia. It was the evil left, and Disney is trying to transition this, in my eyes, to the evil right, to like fascism, and it doesn't work the same.
Yes, doesn't have the right feel, right? Because we go back to Planet Kansas, where the stylized 2 transports. Okay, one ship showed up, 2 transports in the style of like 1940s Germany Volkswagens show up with 4 stormtroopers and 3 Imperial officers and a driver. That's it.
I mean, where's the like 20 guys, 30 guys? Like, where's the show of force? Where's the intimidation? Everything the Empire did
was intimidation.
Yeah, intimidation, right? And overdone, right?
Yeah.
Again, if you could have 10 guys, the Empire has 50. Just because they have that many dudes.
Instead they show up as Doge.
Yeah, they show up and they're like, we're auditing. They're also apparently looking for people's papers. And this is when it turns into 1942's Germany. They're looking for people in the attics. They're looking for people in basements. And they're like, we are going to have 2 of these wheat sandwiches. We want them. Do you know if your friends have the papers? No? We're going to check anyway. Mind you, if this is the auditing team, the big thing is like, oh, they're going to come audit us. What do we do? At one point, one of the characters is like, well, why don't you just work your way around them? Go to a different farm. And at first, you're like, well, it's the Empire. There are probably a bunch of dudes everywhere with checkpoints. No, there's no checkpoints. It's 2 trucks. Legitimately, you could have driven around and taken a day trip and avoided this entire inspection. But it's a really big thing. And they're like, we need to move. I don't know if Andor's going to be able to find us if we move.
But again, they had to stay in the same place so the plot could happen.
This is still the wheat planet where little rednecks are, right?
This is Planet Kansas.
This is Planet Kansas. This is episode 2.
So the redneck guys didn't go out and bomb them or anything, blow up anything. No redneck stuff happened.
No, don't worry.
We'll get back to the rednecks.
The redneck stuff is fantastic.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's going to happen, okay? We're talking about the Gestapos first. That's the part that you have to get through.
Now I feel like Gestapos do more.
They probably do. But for this instance, they're Gestapos, and they're looking for your papers. Okay, that's what they're doing. Now, this is wasted. The episode 2 is 49 minutes. All of this has wasted 45 of those minutes. Nothing has happened. No plots have developed. No movement has taken place.
We do have a possible rat.
Yes, and in the first 4 minutes, you learned that there might be a rat that could snitch out the entirety of the rebellion and ruin everything.
Not a real rat. Not a rat because he's a believer. A rat because he's afraid he's going to go broke.
And lose money.
Yes.
Got it.
A regular guy who was kind of okay living under the Empire, didn't see it as evil, and now has lost his ass because his best friend has made some decisions that have affected him. That's okay. That's what we get. Now, we get to episode 3. Cue in the Redneck Planet guys.
Yes.
All right.
Who at this point, one of the factions of the 2 new factions in the Redneck Planet have decided the best way to conquer the other faction is to tow the TIE fighter into a new direction so they can shoot it at their camp.
Yeah.
As though they couldn't just walk 20 yards to the right.
Yes. Yes. Remember, they were trying to tow it. Can't get it to move, except for they're like, we can move it 50 centimeters an hour. And the other team with Andor is trying to do really simple math to figure that out. And Andor finally has a moment where he's like, that means that at midnight it'll be pointed towards us.
Yes, but the only thing they have in that direction is a broken down ship that's useless for every purpose. So they can't just, walk off a little ways.
Yeah.
Because if you have an immobile fixed fortification, you wouldn't just walk out of the way.
Now, so on the planet, one person, okay, is crawling in the muck to try to find the body of the first guy they shot 2 episodes ago. And another guy is crawling in the muck like it's Vietnam. Like, they're like, oh, we need to crawl. And one of the dudes finds a foot. Oh, no. There's monsters in the field, too, now.
The velociraptors.
It's Jurassic Park. Oh, no, we've landed on Jurassic Park. Oh, my God, we're so terrified of this.
Do you think when they wrote this, they were just like, hey, what about that scene in this one movie?
Yeah.
Let's do that here.
Never been done before, but let me tell you right now, monsters.
That was the foot from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. So they freak out, and now they're arguing back and forth about who killed the guy and why they cut off his limbs.
It was the Predator.
And they're like, okay, we need to have a discussion. Mind you, they've been yelling at each other the whole 2 episodes before.
Honestly, if Predators and Aliens showed up into Star Wars at this point, I would not mind.
I would
Was it Bigfoot?
Oh no, we'll get to that. But first, so they agree to have a conversation. So 4 dudes walk out from one side, 4 dudes walk out from the other side. Okay, one dude's left with Andor.
It was very Kingdom of God at this point.
Yes, it's very we are going to talk. I want to talk to you. One dude's left with Andor. So now, plot craziness, he's probably going to escape. Oh, no. But we don't get to that yet. We get to the Lost Boys discussing how they're going to communicate. And you're thinking, all right, is this like a shootout? Is this like a duel or something? Because they offer to pick a second.
This is exactly how I think Democrats envision negotiations between White House staffers happening in the Trump presidency.
Yes.
Wait for it.
Yes. Okay. So you're like, oh, okay, some kind of duel is going to happen, right? Because they pick seconds. And everyone knows in a duel, you pick a second in case you chicken out or whatever. Your second has to take over. All right. This is going to be cool. Maybe some kind of pluckish duel. It's 4-way Rochambeau.
Yes. We've introduced rock, paper, scissors into the Star Wars universe.
I swear to fucking God, it's 4-man Star Wars themed Rochambeau without clear established rules. Because at one point, one dude makes a tiger pose. He's like, ah, and that's apparently a victory. But the other guy countered with his tiger pose, so it didn't work. So then they keep going. They go on for 4 or 5 Rochambeau sets of battle.
But God.
Between the 4 of them. Andor is clearly now he has taken the role on of the audience going, what the fuck am I watching? Is this really how this is happening? He kicks open a little fucking drawer, takes out a blaster, shoots off the chains, threatens to kill the guy who held him hostage. Honestly, I would have just shot the guy. Because you know what? If they have killed your friend, they're already useless.
Can't make you feel better.
This is also somebody who shot someone on his team rather than getting caught.
Yes.
In Rogue One.
Yes. So, and he already killed a guy, right? He's killed dudes before. He should be able to kill this dude to get out. He ties him up, hog ties him, and then grabs his radio transmitter out of this ship, sneaks out into the woods, and is like walking through the woods, Jurassic Park style again. He's like, oh, cool. I'm going to walk around the guys playing Rochambeau because nobody gives a fuck about Rochambeau. And then he hears something and he's like, oh, what was that? Doesn't show anything.
It's the Velociraptors.
It's just like, he just looks like at the camera and he's like, oh God, there's something out there. I'm going to keep doing my little fucking get out of the way. This gigantic fucking beastly thing comes out and just like crushes the guys playing Rochambeau.
So you felt better about that.
I was like, thank God somebody fucking died. It was like, thank God there was finally some killing. They couldn't shoot each other. They couldn't hit each other. They couldn't lose at Rochambeau. Thank God
they
finally, they finally like lost to this weird 4-legged like rhino looking thing. And Andor just makes a fucking booking for his ship. Gets to his ship, shoots the guy that's on the ship. I'm like, oh, so you would shoot that guy, but you wouldn't shoot the guy beforehand? Like, okay, that makes no sense. Whatever. Gets on the ship, fucking takes off.
Don't read that one.
He takes off. Spoiler alert. Here's the fan service. Guess what planet he was on? He was on Yavin. Because the temples are in the background and the big red planet is in the sky. That whole 3-episode waste of 60 fucking minutes of your life is to be like, hey, Yavin. You remember Yavin? Yeah. This is the home of the rebellion. Yavin. It's so nice. Yavin. He then is now floating in space. And you know what? CGI is beautiful. Like the like nebula behind him comes through the glass. Like it's really cool.
You know, this is starting to depress me more and more.
Good.
It should.
I'm glad.
It's actually the appropriate response.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So he hooks up his little radio transmission. And throughout this, blockade of bullshit, we've had that Lucian, Stellan Skarsgård's character, is not at his store where he has his communication network. So they don't know what's going on. And so Andor finally radios in and he's like, hey, the guy is killed. I don't know why he's dead. And this isn't the ship you told me to fly. It's like, yeah. So there was some training somewhere to fly something, but it wasn't this fucking ship. I told Lane, this part I kind of buy. If the information from the rebellion wasn't as good, then maybe they didn't know what this ship was.
Right.
All right, sure. I can buy that.
My problem with this, though, all right. If you're a military power producing an aircraft and you decide that you were going to produce the next generation of that aircraft, how much different does the cockpit actually get?
It shouldn't be different at all, really. Most of the layout should be the same.
If we would reference ourselves back to a good movie, Top Gun 2, F-18 trained good old Tom Cruise sits back in his F-14, which he flew like 20 years ago, and he's like, ooh, it's been a while. But clearly the buttons are all kind of the same because he's like, click, 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 boom. I can get this bitch going. We gonna fly. Again, it's an advanced TIE fighter. You would think the cockpit, relatively the same. Its abilities are what are different.
Yeah, the way to get it to go forward and back, probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
I don't think they reversed the controls for the purposes.
Even when we watched like the old one, when you see Vader and them flying, it's a joystick that he moves in front of him. There's no way to fuck that up.
Oh yeah, no. There's no joystick.
This has got the new what movie with alien ships has that same control? Because I've seen it before.
It kind of has the Battlestar feel.
Okay.
It's kind of because it's got the I've got the slidey bit here and I've got the controller bit here. Like it's two-handed. It's not a yoke.
Yeah, but even then, it's still one of those things where it's like this.
I
And
gotta be honest.
thrust.
Once he figured out some of it, it seemed really intuitive. But it also was like,
oh no, they definitely Mary Sued him. Like
Yeah.
without much work. Like he went from buffoon to master, like almost immediately.
But in this communication dealio, he short circuits and he flies off rotating in space like Darth Vader did. and you're just like, oh, okay, he's probably dead or something. Well, he's not dead because you'll see him later, but you're like, or whatever, he flew away. Now we go back to the wedding planet.
Can I pause you right here?
Yeah. What do you got?
Lane, what is number one?
Eagle Rare.
I did not like that with the
You didn't
cigar.
like the Eagle Rare?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, with that nub, it's the Cameroon one, and it just
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
Destroyed
Eagle Rare.
it.
interesting. I liked the number one. I was like, ooh, number one is delicious.
I know it's delicious, but
Yeah.
like with that Cameroon nub, nah.
I think because it's so sweet, there's certain notes with certain cigars it's gonna fall off.
Yeah, I drank it. I'm like, no. And Casey's watching me, chuckling a little bit. Like, no.
Every time he drank it, he was like, oh, God, why did I do that?
Like, I thought it'd get better. Anyways, continue.
All right. So we go back to the wedding planet. Okay. They have the wedding. At one point, Mon Mothma's like, you don't have to go through with this wedding. You could just leave. And the daughter turns into like a total bitch. Like last episode, you were upset that homeboy wasn't going to hold your hand and you were crying. And now you're extremely happy to marry this guy for no fuck off reason. Okay, sure. I'll buy that. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Again, nothing has changed. There's no plot development.
Well, it's her heroic moment.
And it's because the mom doesn't like her and said, go
off.
away.
You can fuck right off with that. No. Waste of fucking space. Waste of time. But in this wedding scene, we get our next little tidbit of plot development.
Yeah, the only meaningful plot that's happened so far,
Which,
is cliffhangered.
if written well, could have been fantastic. Because this is the old guy that's Mon Mothma's friend, right? And he clearly a little bit upset about the rebellion, kind of disheartened that he's now broke, and that, Mon Mothma has used her power to not be broke. And he's like, I don't really feel like standing around celebrating. Also, they had some statue from a temple somewhere that was lost for the ages, and now it's just a wedding gift to the fucking daughter. So, and it's worth like priceless amounts of credits. And it like, way to just fucking dig the dagger into this guy's already fucking hurt feelings. And Stellan Skarsgård's character is kind of like, I think we should kill that guy. I don't trust him. So dude leaves, and as he's leaving to get on his little taxi cab fly thingy, you have now noticed that Lucian's hit woman has replaced the old driver. And it's pretty subtly hinted to that this dude is going to get on this ship and probably be killed.
Yeah, they're gonna mark
For
it.
sure.
We don't ever see it happen, but it's assumed that he's just going to die. And Mon Mothma's right-hand chick is like sad about it, so she's crying somewhere. Enter Mon Mothma, who was about to leave the wedding, gets dragged in as this terrible rave dance music starts.
And this is where Generation Me Time happens.
And they're dancing in a circle to this terrible song.
Sounds like The Walking Dead without the dead.
The Walking Dead, I don't like, has more action and more plot development than this. So that's happening. While this is happening, we need to go back to Planet Kansas. Do you know why?
Rednecks.
No.
No.
Andor's buddy, who helped him escape from the first one, has been captured by all of 3 stormtroopers and 2 guys who are dressed as Imperial officers. And 1 creepy Imperial officer has left to go inspect the other house.
Can't say the word.
I will not.
This is the SA scene.
Yes. There is a scene that lasts way too long and has no place in this show at all. Like, it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be there, and it does not help the plot at all.
I don't know what the message
Christian,
or the point was.
Christian.
But yeah, it's a throwaway scene.
It is.
Fair enough.
It's filmed like it's intense. It doesn't need to be there. And I already don't need a reason to not like the Empire. They're already evil. And if you had established their evil aspects, this scene is not necessary. But it's there.
Especially seeing how we have all the other stuff.
Now,
that
what
they've
it
done.
sets up is Andor's heroic arrival in his professionally flying ship that he can now fly like a champion.
It's the same ship he
Yeah,
left
no,
in.
he's now full Mary Sue.
Same ship he almost destroyed in a hangar because he couldn't fly it. Enters the planet orbit, whips this bitch around, launches a missile, blows up one of the transport, kills like 3 dudes, and then flies it around perfectly to use the laser minigun to like just wipe out 4 or 5 stormtroopers.
You know, it could be explained because he has to fly from one planet to the other. Maybe he got some practice in, figured out how to swing things around and shoot.
Here's the thing. There are ample times that you could have inserted a scene like him in an asteroid field learning how to maneuver and shoot and fly, which could have taken up 5 minutes out of the wasted 20 fucking minutes of any one of those other scenes that we had to fucking sit through.
Hey, that Rochambeau was important.
You fuck off with that Rochambeau bullshit. So stupid. But he kills these dudes, and the one stormtrooper who can actually hit the broadside of a barn kills his buddy.
Yeah, for like the first time in history, a stormtrooper accurately shoots a weapon, so the plot can happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Christian.
100%. You know what, Christian?
No, read it.
Oh, I read it. You know what, Christian? You're just jealous. Now, he saves his friend, that chick who's his girlfriend or whatever, and then some other dude, and they leave the planet. And that's it. Literally, that's the end. It plays the shitty rave music. You're supposed to feel bad that homeboy got killed. You don't care. You're like, cool, one less mouth feed. Don't care. One less share in the score. Has not moved the plot in 3 episodes.
And this is supposed to be 1 year in these first 3 episodes.
According to them,
now it's going to jump a year.
It's going to jump
They
6 months to a year.
Nothing, and it's going to jump a year. This is like bad meetings in a corporation. Like you talk in meetings to arrange other meetings. That's what happens in this. It's like we need to talk. What do we need to talk about? We need to talk about the meeting.
Let's have a meeting about the meeting.
What's the meeting about?
Yes, I saw
It's
that.
about developing the
The second part?
resistance. It's awful.
Yeah, but here's my problem, Christian. This has become acceptable in almost every modern television and movie.
It's because everyone thinks they're Aaron Sorkin, and they aren't.
I get that.
They're also trying to change things that don't need to be changed.
Here's the problem. The West Wing is still one of the best shows ever made, and
No.
it's 20 years old.
Agreed. But he doesn't just write like dialogue between scenes in people. Like the way the scenes transition, first it's immediate, and second they're linked. Like it just strings through. The cast changes, the theme doesn't. This is just so scattered and terrible.
Yes. But this is the biggest offender that I've seen so far. And all of Star Wars.
No one on this team can write.
Like
Not a single person.
like it started in The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian should have been fantastic. And the first couple episodes weren't terrible. Like you give every show a couple episodes to kind of find their footing.
Yeah.
When you get to a season 2 of something, or you've been writing for a reason, you should be able to knock this out. Like this shouldn't be a problem. There should be established dialogue. Don't treat us like we're fucking dumb. Like you could put big words in for the Empire. You could put big words in for your bad guys. You can give them depth. Like give me the conviction of the bad guy. Why does he want to do this? Where is that? Like make me go, I get that he's evil, but I kind of agree.
He has a point.
Like that's those are the things that you want. Like you want to be like, I understand this guy's evil, but
He brings up some good points.
he's kind of got like I hate to use Thanos, right? But his whole goal, like he was evil. He wanted to kill half the planet, but he had convictions and a reason to do it.
I wouldn't say he's evil.
His was to correct the universe to make it, not try to kill itself. There was conviction to it. You didn't agree with his conviction. That's why he was the bad guy, but you understood it. But when you lay out the spider silk planet's going to get destroyed and we don't know what to do with it, you lose me. When we already know you've done bad things. You murdered a bunch of Jedi. Like, where? Who cares? Who gives a shit? But there's no TV though. That's right. Like
This
even
is all
Tulsa,
after
like
Vader and
Tulsa
all that,
King
right?
was good, right? Tulsa King has good writing, right?
Mhm.
Mayor of Kingstown has good dialogue, good writing. There's not a lot of action going on there, but there's some good writing in there. some of it's a little fuzzy, right? You're kind of like, I don't know why you went that way with the character.
Yeah, but it's mostly strung together.
But it's
you
mostly
don't ever lose the theme.
no, and like in Mayor of Kingstown, right? Like in the first episode, Jeremy Renner's brother gets killed,
Yes.
and that moves the plot. Now you're like, oh, okay, well, you have a protagonist who kind of didn't want to do the job, but now he's got to do the job because his brother's dead, and he's going to try to figure it out because it's his duty to figure it out. Andor has accepted to be a rebellion guy. He should, one, have training, be a badass, and he should be able to, like, work through things and not look like a bumbling idiot. And also, like, if this is 3 episodes a year, it's got to move. It's got to be a freight train of information and action. It's got to push you along the plot because there's so many other aspects that you're going to have to rush to tell me now.
Well, conveniently, if there's no plot, it doesn't have to push you along.
That's true. That's true.
Like, eventually, they're going to stumble into a rebellion. That's basically the plot.
They are. That I think they're going to
Like-
explain that the Empire partially gave them.
Through no fault of our own, we took down the Galactic Empire.
And we're done. Look at that. Ha ha.
Yeah, and scene.
End scene. And now we're going to collect millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I want some fucking substance. All right? I want some fucking Wrath of Khan. Like, give me one trained actor that can read a fucking script and deliver the lines.
You want good TV again?
I do. I can tell you, I know when good TV died, and it was in 2015.
With?
That's the end. That's when all of the shows that had like smart, decent plot lines ended. Right? Like Burn Notice had just finished a couple years before that. Right? Burn Notice was really good right up to the end.
Yeah.
Like it was written well, it was smart, it was intelligent. Like Person of Interest, when I was watching that with George, that came out, that ended in 2015. It was smart. It was really.
Is that when all the woke stuff started happening?
I think so.
beginning?
I think that's the change. I think that's kind of the change. Because like what name a good TV show now? Like a really good TV show.
I watch anime now.
See, you don't even watch TV.
I stopped doing it.
There's-
yeah.
there-
I'm rewatching Hell on Wheels.
Like,
yeah.
It's hard for me to watch NCIS now.
Yeah, exactly. The first 10 seasons of NCIS are fantastic.
11, 12, and 13, little rickety.
Starts to get rough. You start to lose. That one falls through with like you're losing characters that you've
Yeah.
fallen in, like really favorable with.
Yes.
And that one I understand. Like when you start to change the characters you really like into something different, it gets shitty, right? That part I understand. But
Yeah.
after 10 years, people are going to get bored. Also, that's 10 years of doing 24 episodes a year. I understand you getting bored. If your whole 1 year of work is 13 episodes, motherfucker, you can't get bored.
Yeah.
Figure your shit
When
out.
did the newsroom end?
The Newsroom, I would say, I think The Newsroom is 2015.
Is it?
I think so. It's right around there. And the second season of Newsroom wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like the first season killed it.
Yeah.
Second season, not so good.
That's the one where he starts in the college, right?
Yeah, when he talks
Yeah.
about why
Yeah.
America's not the greatest country in the world again. Like that
And we used
first
to be.
season, fantastic. Knocks it out of the park. Second season's kind of weird. It takes your dynamic, right? You like the dynamic of the newsroom
Yeah.
and the information gathering, and it kind of took you away from that. So that's where you lost me. I was like, oh, it's not the newsroom. It's like news on wheels.
Yeah. No, it's a struggle for sure. Andor's a struggle.
I don't know if I'm ever going to want to watch
I will
regular TV anymore.
probably watch the next 3
I-
episodes.
I
and if they're
will-
anywhere near this slow, I'm done.
But I'm
Yeah.
going to listen to you guys.
Yeah, I will give it 3 more episodes.
It's supposed to get better.
You should watch the whole thing and keep us updated. Torture
Look.
yourself so you don't have to. We don't have
Look,
to torture us.
I watch a lot of random shit.
I've seen some bad TV
I have
shows.
seen some bad TV shows.
I've completed a couple.
Okay, I've also I've watched a lot of good TV.
Yes.
I could write better single-handedly than the entire team at Disney to make Star Wars great. And I'm not a writer.
Well, it was already set up for them to be great if they just followed the.
It's not hard.
Well, this is the tragedy of Star Wars, right? The single greatest intellectual property in the history of film, period. And they ruined it.
Yeah, and most people thought they ruined it with 1, 2, and 3, but those turned out to be really
Turns
good.
out
compared.
when you put out a bunch of hot garbage, those age pretty
oh
well.
yeah, they aged really well.
Here's the thing, and I was thinking about this,
But
right?
that still gave substance because it told the story on how he got there.
Here's my theory. You have to go back to the 70s, right?
Yes.
Okay. because now we have to talk about the two stars. We have to talk Star Wars. We have to talk about Star Trek. Okay. Star Trek, like Gene Roddenberry had a vision, right? His was to tell a Western in space, but he laid out the principles of how that universe exists and like what it's supposed to be built upon. And he had the convenience of having executive producers, a team of writers, and directors that understood his vision.
Yeah.
And you get that because it was a TV show. So he built a team on those principles. 20 years later, some of the people from that original team and Gene Roddenberry make the next iteration of that, right? When they come out with Next Generation. Gene was there for the first season and a half to teach the guys that he hired now the same principles. Like, this is the universe. This is how it exists. These are the rules you have to follow, like the tenets. Like, he has the commandments of Star Trek. Now, Gene died, and some of the guys who were respectable enough to be like, hey, Gene's not here anymore. We need to abide by some of these commandments. However, we need to make some tweaks to tell better stories. And you saw that. You saw that change. Like Next Generation, first 2 seasons, really bad. The next 5, fantastic. Deep Space Nine, fantastic. Like, they built a team of people that carried that legacy on. George Lucas had a wonderful vision for Star Wars. He makes Star Wars, right? New Hope comes out. Empire Strikes Back, right? Which Empire Strikes Back arguably is one of the best movies, period.
Yeah.
Like the way it portrays its villain, the way it like builds your story for your heroes, like it is a masterpiece. And Return of the Jedi solidly ended that story and also left the door open for more, right? You went from like learning about the universe is full of bad guys, we defeated the bad guys, everyone's happy, perfect. It was great. 20 years later, George Lucas is like, hey, I got this idea. I want to tell what happened before. The things I hinted to in my first movies, because we couldn't technologically make them, but now we can. So he made the first 3, right? The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, whatever, the Attack
Which is
of the
where
Clones.
we have more CGI and all that.
Yeah, his vision carries over, and you can tell like that story clearly connects to the next story. But then he left. He retired. He sold his property.
Well, they also he tried to consult and they ran him off.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy wanted nothing to do with it.
They want no input. And it's like, you can't take someone's baby, someone's established universe, not include them or have anyone who has any idea of what the rules and tenets are, and then try to make better TV. It just doesn't work. Like you just can't do it. Because now clearly every piece after is directed by someone. It's written by different people. And it has this, like, you can just tell it's all different people.
Everybody got
but
their
they
hands in
try
it.
to keep them close enough together that it's like, well, yeah, but it has to be connected somehow. Like Mandalorian had to have Boba Fett show up because it's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And you're like, honestly, I don't really think you needed Boba Fett. You didn't need Baby Yoda either. You could have gone a whole different way and just told me a story in that universe
About the man.
and I would have been fine with it. But you like have this need and want for fan service, and it's like the fans will watch it if it's good. It doesn't have to be connected. Like it turns out laser blasters, explosions in space, and laser swords, way cool. Just do that and write it half decent, and I'll show up for it.
Yeah, I've talked about this before, right? They could have just stolen other shows. Boba Fett could have just been Justified in space.
Yes.
Obi-Wan could have just been Kung Fu.
Well, and to that point, nowadays, right? I like when you didn't have streaming and you just had network television. I understand why you wouldn't be like, we don't necessarily want to copy from them, right? But now with streaming, what are we all doing now? We're watching the same shit we used to watch. Clearly, we don't care what it is. Like, take the same shit and make it new. I'm okay with that. Top Gun 2 is A New Hope.
Yes.
Take plane, take young protagonist whose dad you knew. Okay. Fly through a canyon and hit a womp rat at 2 meters with your F-18. It's just fucking A New Hope. It's Star Wars. I don't care. You dressed it up okay. Perfect. That's fine. Tell a good story. At least there's good fucking
works
dialogue.
well.
And it works perfect. It's fantastic. I'll watch the next one. Whenever fucking Empire Strikes Back, Top Gun, I'll watch that shit. I don't give a fuck. You know, fuck, call it Russia Strikes Back. I don't give a shit. Just whatever it's going to be. Like, you can make that story. Like, there are only 7 story plot lines that really exist. You're going to remake some shit? I don't care. I don't care if it's compared to whatever, as long as it's fucking good. But Andor's not good. And neither is any of the other television that's coming out. It's fucking garbage. It's stupid.
The worst part is it's not the fact that it's not good either. It's the fact that it got our hopes up and then dashed them away.
Yeah, because you know what? Props to the marketing team. They cut a really good fucking trailer.
It had nothing to do with the show, turns out.
Turns out, I've never seen any of those scenes yet, but fuck, that trailer makes you go, wow, that looks really good.
So you're holding out just in hopes to see the
Oh,
trailer.
no, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's 60 minutes of nonsense and 30 seconds of, haha, that was the trailer. Gotcha.
Yeah, it feels. I mean, there's been a bunch of Star Wars and a bunch of other stuff too. That's all about the reveal and the cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Nothing actually happens until the reveal, and then the cliffhanger.
Yep.
End scene.
Yeah. And you know when a cliffhanger was fucking meaningful? Is when you were sitting for 22 episodes, they developed a side storyline in between your not so side storyline, and then all of a sudden it was like, cliffhanger. By the way, you just invested 22 episodes. You're going to have to wait 6 months. And you were like, oh, you dirty bastards.
Also,
Exactly.
but the best shows didn't cliffhanger. Like, maybe a little bit. There was some theme that was left over, but most of it was settled.
Yeah, because you didn't know on network television if you were going to be there the next year.
But people came back anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to cliffhanger. I think the cliffhanger is so annoying.
It's
You know, it doesn't bother me. The cliffhanger doesn't bother me when it's episode to episode. Because then
That's fair.
it holds you on to go.
Like a two,
Well,
like
the old
Dragon-
2-part episode.
Dragon Ball
two-parter.
was that way. Like every episode, there was a cliffhanger. to keep you
legitimately
watching.
because of its format, it's like 20 minutes an like if it was if they had written anime like
26 minutes long
40,
is what the episodes is.
they wouldn't have so many. But yeah, the 2-parter episode is usually done fantastically.
Yeah.
Like I love a good 2-parter because it's like, oh, not only did you write a story long enough to tell me 2 stories, you couldn't make it a movie because you don't have movie rights. So you're like, let's
Who's
go.
the Canadian one, the cops one, the SWAT team.
Oh, 19-2?
Yeah,
Flashpoint.
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 They had some good 2-episode cliffhangers.
Flashpoint left you going, oh, I need to watch the next one. 19-2, though.
And it kept us hooked.
19-2 was fantastic.
We stayed here so
We
late.
powered through 19-2 like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And that, because the dialogue in that was gritty. Like, I think that's the other thing I miss, is gritty dialogue. Like, I want real lived-in worlds. Not this, like, we don't want to offend anybody.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, what's the random political message? Like, it's just all politicking dialogue.
100%.
It's like delivering a purpose, not a story.
Yeah, everyone's so focused on telling you the message.
I don't care about the message.
I don't want the message. I want the story. I want good. I want characters that when you like threaten to kill off a character, I'm genuinely like, dude.
Yeah, like the first 2 seasons of NCIS before Kate dies.
Honestly, like, yeah.
That one hits you hard, too.
Like, Kate dying comes out of fucking nowhere. And you're just like, oh, shit. Okay. You're just going to, when Person's of Interest, when we were watching that,
Yeah.
they killed off the detective chick that you had like gotten to really like
Yeah.
in season 3. And you were like, whoa, I didn't think they were going to kill anybody off this fucking show till the end. Like, what happened? Like, wait, where the fuck did that come from? You know? Star Trek, when they killed off Tasha Yar by a
Money,
like a
how's it
sludge
going?
monster. And you were like, oh, wait a minute. Is she dead?
That's it.
Wait, what? Hey, hang on a minute. Whoa. Like, that's, honestly,
Just blindsiding you with it.
anybody in Andor could fucking get murked tomorrow, and I would be like, thank God. That means there's 20 less minutes of their dialogue. I would be happy. I'd be like, oh, that's one story we're not going to have to go back to. I am so ecstatic right now.
It's just so tedious at this point.
Well, it is. It's repetitive, and
just repetitive garbage.
It just sucks.
It's not even good garbage. It's straight garbage.
It just sucks. Like, I'm all for a slow burn if you make it interesting. Like, there's a way to make a slow burn interesting, but you have to be able to like build it a little bit.
Yeah, when you know it's burning towards a powder keg.
Yeah, 100%. When you're like, well, I don't actually know where this is going.
This sounds like it's going to be a powder keg, and it's going to fizzle.
That, you know what? Honestly, the buildup, I like the buildup to a fizzle to a bigger powder keg. That's a good one. When they surprise you, like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. You got me, you bastards. I'll watch another episode.
Anyway,
I don't think it's ever going to come back.
It's not great.
It will. We just have to stop like accepting like the bot marketing when they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest ever." It's like, no, it's not. Stop lying. Stop lying.
When you read the reviews and you see like 30% of the language just repeated.
Yeah, like okay, either you paid for someone to say that, or you used AI. And it's like the same repetitive, like, oh, it was the greatest, but there's no substance. And you're like, did you actually
watch it?
Were you watching the same show that I was watching? Like, where do you
I don't know
this?
where these reviews came from. I mean,
and if you're releasing a review the whole way through, at the very beginning of that review, it should be like, oh, by the way, I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not like, this is my review after 3 episodes. Because my review after 3 episodes is you can go fuck yourself. My review is this is garbage, and you wasted how many millions of dollars on this when we could have something better?
See, and like you guys said, you're watching these TV shows. There's nothing good. I just went back to cartoons. There's always something funny in a cartoon. Always something action.
Simplistic television. I don't blame you for that. Like,
I might as well.
And that's why like we rewatch the same shows. Like, I still put on Numbers and watch Numbers. I've seen it like 6 times.
Yeah,
and
you see Leverage
smart.
So many times.
Leverage, I love Leverage. Leverage is fantastic. It's smart. It's funny. It's a little quirky, but at least in Leverage, within 45 minutes, a whole con has taken place and story's moved, and you're like, hey, all right, I like that. It's good. I just want smart, intelligent television. I want smart, intelligent movies. I don't want dumb shit.
It's gonna be like this for a while. Then
I want The Godfather. I don't want Snakes on a Plane.
I mean, there's a place for Snakes on a Plane.
No,
in the middle of a volume of movies like The Godfather.
Yes. No. If I want a movie that's just mindless and action filled, then that's the movie I'm not going to complain about.
No, but if there's a place for the Beverly Hills Cops of the world and the Lethal Weapons.
But there's more action and dialogue in those.
No, I get that. But they're also like, they're campy and fun, pretty humorous.
Yeah. Well, Lethal Weapon is kind of serious and dark.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be doing another one, right?
They are. They are making it. And that one I think will be good.
We're hoping.
It can't be any worse,
Well, who's directing it?
I know I shouldn't put that out in the universe, but
who's directing it?
Mel Gibson.
Oh, then he's usually pretty good.
It'll be good. It'll be fine.
I hope
it'll be fine. But the dialogue in Die Hard's better. Like,
what'd you guys think of You didn't like the first one. How'd you like the other two?
This one's palatable for sure.
What's
the
that?
Third
3?
one?
3 is palatable. What is 3?
3 is Kevin's Old Forester pick.
I think it's just the fact that it was that nub cigar, the Cameroon, that just ruined it.
Could be.
Yeah, because I have the nub Cameroon now, and Kevin's Old Forester has got a strange note in it now.
Yeah.
And that might be so that's good consumer advice. Cameroons might mess up your whiskey.
Well, that goes with we talk about it. Weeded whiskeys, usually you have a problem with it with cigars.
Oh, I do. 100%.
Yeah.
Like the Cameroon itself is just messing up every one. Like even the second one, I didn't care for. I can't. I'm thinking it's a Remus. I'm thinking it's Kevin's Remus or the one from Rayleigh's, but I don't care for any of these. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely tastes like MGP.
Yeah, and I don't care for any of them with that after that Cameroon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I told you. See.
Oh yeah.
And that first one. Try the first one.
No, I've been. The first one was palatable to me.
Not with the Cameroon.
But you weren't smoking the Cameroon.
Oh no, I wasn't. Hang on.
Like the faces I was making was because of that.
No, I still like that.
I can't get
That
behind it.
that
on
one's
that.
okay. That's Eagle Rare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eagle Rare just solidly holds up against cigars.
I feel like it does, but for some reason, faces I was making was because of the Eagle Rare and that Cameroon.
Did you eat today?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I even had a snack before this.
no, that's true.
But I've had the snack before
Yeah,
with
yeah,
these
no, no.
bourbons.
I was just wondering if you had eaten because sometimes that throws off the taste.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, there's definitely a weird funk on 3, and I don't know if it might be the Cameroon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Cameroon because we've never had that funk with Kevin's.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah,
Cameron's
and we-
Forester
that's
pick
true.
We got
regularly.
it confused that one time for Stag.
Yeah.
So I know it's
No,
good.
No,
Yeah,
that Old
no.
Forester pick is a really good pick.
Yeah. That's, you know what, actually, that's not a terrible combo, Josephus, tequila and Cameroon.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, and
I see that.
I think it's because that Cameroon offers that like latte coffee note.
Okay.
Like it's subtle, but it also adds that sort of, it's not pepper flavoring. It's kind of almondy.
Okay.
So it's like kind of coffee, chocolate, and almond on that subtle Cameroon flavor, but it's really particular. Like you notice it every time you have a Cameroon, you're like, oh, that's Cameroon. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the soil. Like I don't know if I think there's Nicaraguan in this, so that should fight some of that. But I don't know. It's a good smoke. It just
It's a great smoke.
if it messes with that, I'm gonna try with tequila though.
I
That
wouldn't
might
do
be
it with
good.
bourbon at all. And next time we come in and do a cast, I'm not
Well,
smoking a Cameroon.
We do have
With
good
whiskeys.
tequila again.
We do have good. We have good.
Oh, we got good tequila
We
in.
got the fucking Florida Laser.
I still haven't tried it.
Oh, you gotta try some of it. It's so good.
I like how
Really?
you just swig your head and stare
We've
at
had
me.
it in here so many times.
I like bourbon, and I always go to it.
Kevin's-
You've ruined my palate because I like bourbon. I like ryes a lot.
Yeah.
So when it's a rye, I could usually pick it out.
That's true. Yeah.
I need to go. I need to find a way to get into California and buy some of that Boo Rye before it disappears.
Oh yeah. All right.
Rye.
So
All right,
do
Kevin.
you want to get into my stuff, or do you
Wait,
want to
real
get
quick,
into the other one?
because I think mine will be short. My quick rant. All right, Christian, I apologize. I'm going to rail on Trump a little bit. So here's the thing. There's been a bunch of random bullshit in the world about due process. I will say this one thing. If everyone doesn't have due process, no one has due process. Due process isn't guilty or innocent. It's not liable or not liable. Due process is literally the least amount of process necessary to make sure you're doing the right thing. Right? So, like, when you say, oh, dude is MS-13, why don't you want to keep him? I don't care if he's MS-13. He still gets due process. Because I could look at Casey and be like, Casey's a war criminal. You know that?
Yep.
Yeah. You know, there's an active war tribunal in Europe still to this day for his crimes.
So look at his face. He's
It's not a war crime the first time.
Yeah. Without due process, he just goes away. You're just taking me at my word. I want to know, okay, if he's MS-13, fine. I want enough process in a courtroom to make sure that we have the right person, that the evidence meets all necessary requirements to actually be evidence, not even to a fact finder, just to make sure that it's allowed in court, and then we can proceed. But if everyone doesn't have due process, no one has due process, and we're all screwed.
So due process is just the action of
Due process.
making it fair.
Gathering
No.
information
Due
and
process
showing
is
it.
the paperwork that you submit to the court to make sure that all of the basic assumptions can be made. Like, not even factual assumptions.
Oh,
Where does the evidence come from? Does it meet basic hearsay requirements? Is it even allowed in court? Do we even have the right person?
okay.
Did Casey actually commit these crimes, or was it a video game? he was
Is the
playing?
person, in fact, an illegal immigrant, or are they a U.S. citizen? Let's submit the paperwork and find out.
Lane, I
gotcha.
actually agree with you. However, there has to be an expectations for terrorism and national security.
Exception. There has to be
No,
exception.
no, I get that, but we need to properly address national security, right? So, like, MS-13 as a game is a national security problem, for sure.
All right.
However, you still don't, like, even for terrorism, right? Like, Casey's a terrorist. Let's send him to Guantanamo. Due process is just enough. It's literally the lowest bar in the legal world. It's just enough to make sure that he was in the right place, is the right person. There are actual probative evidence, like pieces of probative evidence, to submit against him where it might be true.
So basically, you're like, it's not hearsay. Like, we actually have proof. We have paperwork for it.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I can hop in on this a little bit because they found my grandpa to be innocent of what they said he did.
Again, no.
And
innocent and guilty is not due process.
Well, yeah, but
that is so far down the line from due process, it's ridiculous.
I get it, but this is the part where he went through and he got all the information, got a different lawyer. The lawyer actually went in and followed all the information and has presented it. He now is waiting for papers to get released. Apparently, these papers can last a while because there's a guy in there that has been waiting. He was found to be innocent 4 years ago. He's still waiting on the papers to be signed so he can be released.
Yeah.
But they actually went through the process now with my grandfather. Through all that, okay, let's see your paperwork. Okay, we looked at the paperwork. It's showing that, hey, you actually did all these things. You have the proof for it. They found him not to be at fault on this.
Okay, but again, that's not due process.
Yeah, I'm just saying they went through and finally looked at it.
Due process is literally like, did we even bring the right person to court?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Simplified it. Okay. No, don't say it.
It's like the basic actions that have to be taken to even get the process started.
Yeah, it's like a preliminary hearing. It's like an arraignment.
Okay.
Who is it? Yeah. What are they charged of?
Why? How? Who? What? Where? When?
A couple of short 20-page briefs outlining the basic evidence that's going to be presented, basic defenses. Yep, we're in the right place. Let's move forward.
Yeah. So
that's all due process is.
It's the who, what, why, when, how.
Yeah,
it's all that.
It gets more complicated when you're talking about someone that is in fact a U.S. citizen and is accused of a crime. Yeah. Right. Due process becomes more complex. Right. But if you start the process and you're like, oh, they don't even belong here.
Hey, digital ops.
But it's just the foundation of the system. Mm-hmm. It's not the fact finder. There's no jury involved. Mm-hmm. It's not a finding of guilt or innocence. It's, are we in the right place, doing the right thing? Let's at least verify those things.
Huh. But now for terrorism, didn't the Patriot Act make it so you didn't have to worry about due process? Weren't we just shipping dudes to Guantanamo because we could?
Even under the Patriot Act, think what you will of I forget what the court was called, a secret court. Mm. But even then, they still had to go to a judge and verify the basic facts.
Ah, gotcha.
the FISA warrants. They still had to go to a judge and get FISA squared away.
Right.
And identify that they're actually doing the right thing with the right people.
Oh, okay. I got you.
P.S. Christian, if Trump starts sending U.S. citizens to jails in other countries, he will be impeached.
I thought you were talking about, I got to talk the other thing.
What other thing?
The funeral.
I don't care about that in the slightest.
Cool.
I don't care if Trump falls asleep at the Pope's funeral. Fair chance I would have too.
Fair. Like I said, he was just trying to talk to him again.
Yeah. I care about that not at all.
Fair.
I do care.
How many times do senators fall asleep?
We have
all the time.
Yeah. By the time you get to a trial, you have gone through months of steps, right? I'm literally talking about the first step. Due process is necessary for everyone to protect the people that need it. To protect U.S. citizens, we must offer due process to everyone, period. So, because without it, I can accuse you of anything and they can ship you anywhere.
So that's why, they ask about due process when they arrest people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's because, you can't just pick Kevin up on the street and be like, clearly he's a thief.
Read your rights and everything.
You'd have to catch him But you'd have to have proof in the act or evidence, and then you could be like, yes, we arrested him. That's following due process.
You have to. All right, here's how it goes. When you're talking about basic filing, all evidence, as read, in a light most favorable to the charging party, would he be guilty? That is an arraignment. That is the first step in due process for a criminal charge.
Okay.
Like, even if all the evidence is true, he still can't be guilty. 12b6 motion.
Oh, okay. So people are just misusing due process.
They're just not granting it to anybody.
Or
like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if the people that we're accusing of being MS-13 don't get due process, you don't have it either. Because I can just accuse you of being MS-13, your due process is gone.
Okay.
If everyone doesn't have due process, no one has it.
Gotcha.
Like, and this isn't a trial. This isn't 3 years. This is like 6 days.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah.
Like,
this is like Monday when you were arrested on a Saturday.
Okay, I got you. You're putting all the pieces together for why it happened.
Not even that. You're just making sure that you're literally making sure you have the right person. They can't actually be guilty, and you should proceed.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
It's been driving me nuts.
Because it feels like a lot of people are really misusing due process.
Like, listen, I don't know anything about the guy. Could definitely be MS-13 for all I know. I do not care. We still need to go through the first at least 2 steps.
Right.
And then, you know what? If he's illegal and part of a gang in another country, send him back.
Okay. So yeah, it's like, do you have proof? Yes. Could you show proof? Yes. Is this why I arrested the guy? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he in fact illegal? Yes.
Cool. Next step.
Yeah.
Boom.
Move along.
But you can go to the next step because we've done due process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think like night court. Yeah.
I mean, I like night court. I don't think there's a lot of due process in night court, if we're being honest. I don't think it's necessarily legally accurate.
Yeah. Okay, so Christian, I'm not arguing the deportation. If he's got deportation orders, fine. But the general assumption of deportation is that we're taking him back to somewhere and then releasing him. They're no longer in our custody. Here's the problem with the people that we sent to El Salvador. They're in a prison that we're contracting. They are still technically our responsibility. We're paying for that. And we didn't take them out and set them free. We took them to a jail. Now, that it happens to be in another country, like, they're getting away with it because they're people that are being accused of being illegal. If they start sending criminals from this country, not people, if they, like, people who have actually been found guilty, if they start sending criminals in this country to a jail in another country, I'm telling you, Trump will be impeached by his own party. It will go so bad.
And quick.
It'll be fast.
Yeah.
Like, Trump needs to figure out how to be president. Like, there's certain rails that you have to walk in order to have that job.
And he hasn't figured those out yet.
No, he's got to find the boundaries, man. Like, he has to.
Do you think he knows the boundaries and is just testing them at this point?
I don't think he has any idea.
Okay.
I think he's an Aventador. He's a big daft orange dog.
Yes.
I apologize for the irony. And someone's in it with their foot to the floor. But he's got to realize that, like, if you're in a parking garage in London, you might not have the clearance to pull out of the driveway.
Yes. It's going to be bad.
He says, yeah, the closest they can get to that is really Guantanamo.
Yeah, because that's technically our property.
Yeah.
But I mean, Trump, like, I forget what dinner he was at, but someone recorded him saying, we're going to start sending the homegrowns down to El Salvador. They need to build 5 more facilities. Like, that is such a terrible idea for him. Like, I cannot describe how badly I think that will go.
He says his advisors need to step in a little earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
So Oliver Platt's character needs to come in and talk about.
Absolutely. Because a device that doesn't stop recording in the White House isn't a bad idea.
I thought they had that already in the Oval Office.
They do. They have tapes. Well, they did. I don't know if they still do.
The Watergate thing?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was the FBI recording in the White House too?
No. So much
Okay.
better than that. They were recording for the purposes of austerity. They were actually doing it. Like the White House.
Wow. Some sketchy shit.
Yeah, the Oval Office, I thought, was recorded 24/7 when anybody was in there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it's definitely not a skiff room for sure. That's in the basement.
Yeah.
I think the only skiff is the Situation Room.
Yeah,
In the White House.
100%.
Maybe not. I have no idea.
In the White House?
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
I feel like there's a ton of big talks, though, that happen in the Oval Office. I mean, you would think that they would walk in and have a
they
chat
let the
there.
press in the Oval Office.
True. If
Anyway,
they would bug it, then
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my Trump rant. Like, he's going to have to figure this the fuck out.
Agreed.
He might not
And-
figure it out.
Regardless, like, J.D. Vance, I'm sure his legal education was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when he's like, due process is just so cumbersome, he's wrong.
What?
He's just wrong.
Isn't it supposed to be, though?
No, well, first of all, it's not cumbersome.
But literally, it pretty much does itself. Like, if you're going to arrest someone, you have a reason. Otherwise, they're just going to get out.
Fair.
And you're going to owe somebody some money for illegally like detaining them.
And that's happened a few times, yeah.
Well, it's like habeas. It's like producing a prisoner, right?
Hmm.
Is this even the right prisoner? Oh, yeah, that's him. Cool.
How do we know that?
Well, I mean, they're going to have someone in there, like, testifying to it.
But
like, that's a basic part of the process.
Is this the right prisoner? Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's the guy.
I mean, listen, if you don't think that the county jail hasn't brought the wrong person to an arraignment before, you're crazy.
What
No,
was that TV show where they
100%.
switched out the guys and put him in the audience and put a different guy up front? And he said, "Is this?" Pointing at the guy that did it, and he pointed at the guy that was sitting
The oblong house, or the oblong office.
The
There was a
oblong
line in The West Wing. He goes, they were talking about the White House, and he goes, "You mean the Mauve House?"
The move. It is kind of mauve, isn't it?
I mean, nothing's white. White turns out looks terrible.
Yeah.
I thought we were watching that show in here. That one with the lawyer that just had got back into town.
Oh, it was Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
They had that episode where he puts him in the audience
Yeah,
seat
yeah.
and it has some
it's-
random
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that was like the first season of Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah.
It's a good show, actually. It's a good show.
How old is that one?
It was okay. The first season was pretty good. The
First
second
season was
season was a
good.
little
Okay.
questionable.
They don't hold up to. No one does Matthew McConaughey.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
rant over. That's
All
all I
right.
wanted to talk about. Like, I just think they're making some really tragic mistakes.
Well, thank you for giving us your due process.
Well, we learned something a little bit more.
Disappointed lane
Lane
face.
What are you guys reviewing tonight, Casey?
Charter Oak.
Okay.
Charter Oak Habano.
I quite like the thumbnail.
Is that
photo
the middle
for that.
box?
Yes.
I just
Yeah,
had it.
I was telling him, I'm like, he already picked up the one he smoked it.
I made that cigar look really good.
It's a good looking cigar.
I have to look at it.
It's got that sheen on it. Nice, good color.
All right, so on to me. I'm just-
Kev the Destroyer.
It's right, Kev, the Destroyer.
With
Are you Sling Blade? What just happened?
with his dog Jangers. Yeah.
It's a fresh fried with some mustard.
Yep.
Yep, fresh fried potatoes. Sometimes I think when I look at Josephus's thing, I'm like, he talks like that sometimes. He has to.
I prefer the on blog house. Yeah. Sorry, Josephus.
I'm not sorry. You're laughing. You're fine.
Kevin's not sorry.
Anyway, so what are you guys' thoughts? And this goes for the comment section. He just says, So what are you guys' thoughts, including the comments, on bringing in somebody who is going through the process of creating his own whiskey and doing the distillery thing?
Oh, I'm all in. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the process. I want to hear about the licensing. I want to hear. Is it in Nevada, right?
yeah. So
I want to hear what he had to go through in Nevada for it.
Yeah,
he's in Nevada.
Mhm.
Let me get his first name at least. I don't want to say his.
Yeah, don't dox him entirely.
Yeah.
Don't shout him out.
I could probably say his company name, which is Dovetail Distillery.
All right.
And,
Is it in Gardnerville?
No, it's not. It's more towards, I think, Fernley is what he was saying. He came in.
Oh, that makes sense. I bet the licensing out there is way better. Like the local licensing is much easier.
So when I met him, he came into Kevin's shop, and I had my kid with me, and I was chatting with Kevin, and he like called Kevin over to try and talk to him. He was trying to sell his product, which of course, and he's already got some stuff online.
Okay.
And trying his 2-year-old stuff. Not that bad. He wanted to go with like a candy bar flavor, kind of similar in the first 2 years with his oats.
Hold on. Can you, if we bring him in, can you run the board so Kevin can sit here with him?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Where would you sit?
I think you should do it that week I'm not going to be here.
I'd have to talk to him because I don't know.
You got 2 weeks. See if he can do it.
Yeah, I know he can't do it. He said he couldn't do it today, which is fine.
but I'm not going to be here the 11th.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you should do it the 11th.
True.
The 11th. I will try to do that. Let me find. And
I'm going to be in Napa tasting really good wine.
And
Hanging out with Eric at Napa Cigars.
The good thing is I can't say his last name.
And go to Ron's place.
Yeah. Is it open?
It should be by the Wednesday.
Yeah, I will definitely go visit him.
I don't actually have Ron's number, which is funny, but
All right, so his name is Nick.
Yeah, I get his number, so give it to me so I can text him.
Okay.
Me or him?
No, not you.
Me.
Ron.
Got
So
it.
we
one
were
of the,
having
one of
a
the guys
conversation.
from James's group is opening a shop in Vallejo.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
want to go
Ron.
down. I want to go down and hang out with him.
Okay.
Since I'm going to be like 20 minutes away.
Is he gonna do booze as well? He probably
Don't
should.
know.
I think so. I think it's a full. I think he's got both.
I hope he
Did
does.
he manage to get a liquor license down there,
well,
or is it just beer and wine?
I think it's beer and wine.
That makes more sense in California.
Because it'd be a struggle just to do cigars out there with the way
Well,
they're
also,
doing things.
unless he's selling food, that liquor license in California, because it's proprietary, so you have to buy it from someone,
Yeah.
is probably $500K.
Ooh, that's
Well,
rough.
I think he's gonna do the locker, bring in your own deal, whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I took pictures of his bottles because there were some pretty good ones. But he has he has 1 cast strength oats that he was testing out, and then he has a couple of just regular bourbons that were really good.
Oh,
For 2 years, it wasn't bad, and he did 2 years age in the barrel.
so 2 years age on this first. This is his first batch, or
This is like a couple batches later.
Christian, I would love that setup.
I can't read it.
Doesn't
so,
matter. And
sorry.
Cameron is on a bus from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap. He was doing Paul Oakenfold's show in Phnom Penh. I guess it would have been this morning, our time.
Does not sound like it went well though.
And now they're going. He's doing so. Oakenfold. He was just a guest at this show, like helping out the promoter. And then Oakenfold showing up in Siem Reap, and he's doing his show there.
yeah. So he's on a bus.
He was supposed to be in the chat, but I'm guessing the Wi-Fi on the bus did not work out as well as he thought it would.
I'm sure it's very good.
Well, it makes
dial-up.
sense.
They still got AOL out there.
But yeah, I figure bringing him in at some point and going that way.
No,
He'd be
I'm
good.
curious. I'm curious about the process. Like Lane is like that's
Yeah, I asked him at his mash bill. He said, "I'm not going to tell you that because that's personal."
that's
But-
proprietary information.
Yes.
He will be better off being open about it. He can like the best thing to protect that no one cares about is the yeast strain that you're using. But the mash bill, like the whiskey heads in the world, if they don't know it, they take serious offense.
Okay.
Interesting.
Unless you're Buffalo Trace, which is about the only mash bill out there that no one really knows. And everyone's got a pretty good guess. So Buffalo Trace only has 3 mash bills. And everyone's more or less figured out what they are.
Okay.
Oh, so it's like the KFC chicken.
Yeah. So Buffalo Trace has mash bill 1, which is E.H. Taylor, Stag, Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. I'm probably missing one. And then mash bill 2, which is Blanton's, Hancock's, Elmer, and Rock Hill.
Okay.
And then they've got the rye mash bill.
Ah, okay. Okay, I got you.
Oh, and they've got the weeded mash bill, the Weller mash bill.
Oh yeah, the Weller stuff.
So 4.
Still not bad.
Yeah. like I said, and I'm hoping to get him in here. He was all enthusiastic about it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
He even invited me out to his place at some point. So
Yeah, man. If he wants to come in and talk about it, bring him in.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
I'll stop in. We'll set it up, and I'll let him know what you guys said. And
I'd be a little disappointed I didn't get to meet him, but I'll probably Sunday night I'll just be driving in. I'll get in the chat and harass you guys and listen in.
give us some questions to
Yeah.
ask him, because you know what, we're not going to have any from that are going to be as sophisticated as yours.
yeah, I mean, in all fairness, you are the best person for that kind of interview.
I will definitely throw some
Which-
questions in the chat. and
Which is
listen in.
partially like maybe I should wait till then.
We'll figure it out. It also depends on what his schedule's like too.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We do our podcast a little bit late. Maybe he'll do it. He, like I said, he does woodworking and he does the distillery aspect. So he's mainly in that. I don't know if he does anything else.
Sounds cool.
Anyway, so on to the other stuff that I was telling you. You know, like in 2018, my dog died, the truck died, and I had the makings for a country song.
Yes.
I'm halfway there this year.
Nice.
My car died. I have to go replace the alternator.
Well, wait. If the dog doesn't go, does your tractor break down?
I haven't
That
checked the tractor
Tractor is a solid substitute for that. So it could be the tractor. You could lose your girlfriend
yet.
to another cowboy in a
Ain't
different
got one
city.
of them. Got a wife. That could happen too.
No fish in the watering hole. That's another good.
That happens regularly around here.
All right. Well, see, I think you're already there, bud.
You think I'm there?
You might as well get a belt buckle and a Stetson. Let's go.
I have a belt buckle. I have a Stetson.
Good Lord.
Listen, I got it when I was in the Army too.
I didn't know we were doing a podcast with Merle Haggard.
I don't think I could live up to that.
I don't think he smokes enough weed to be Merle Haggard.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe closer to a George Strait.
All right, I'll give you that. So what's going on? What do you got?
So, got to replace that. I'm working a lot of hours, giving out a ton of different like consequences to children. You know, it's
Yeah.
fun. And then like my dad and my mom are out visiting family in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Josephus is just wrong.
I would read that, but I'm not going to.
Just wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, as a beast.
That looked more like a disappointed Casey face than a point.
Wow. Yeah. Continue anyway.
So my mom and dad are out in New Mexico visiting some family. They'll be going to Vegas tomorrow. But they left my.
Or are they going to hang out with the Lex?
There's a possibility that they'll hang out with the Lex.
Yeah.
But they're gonna sit there and visit my brother and their other grandkids and check on my Aunt Mary, who isn't doing all that well, but her son's taking care of her. He's in camp. He's a caregiver. He does YouTube now.
Oh, yeah?
With my aunt,
Okay.
the Cholo caregiver. Listen, I told you my family's Hispanic on that side, and by the way, yeah, they are like cholo.
Wow.
Like I have some aunts and uncles that are involved with the Mexican mafia,
Like
and all
top
that, but
button
yeah.
flannel cholo?
Yes,
Okay.
Got their flannel and their dickies on?
he's cleaned up since he's gotten out, and like he doesn't do that anymore. He's just taking care of his mom. He's lost a ton of weight. He used to be over 300 pounds. He's down to my weight, wearing extra larges now.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
It's nice, and
Nice.
I'm proud of him, and I'm glad that he's taking care of his mom. So they're visiting her. They left my dad's mom, which my dad is my stepdad, so I call her grandma regardless, and she's happy about it.
Real quick. Christian, with your pedigree, I feel like you should definitely be quoting Full Metal Jacket.
He should at this point.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to put that line in the chat, let's make it contextually appropriate, shall we?
So they left her in charge to watch the dogs, and she put around the house with her little walker, and she's an awesome lady. I love her to death. She talks so much shit about my little brother because, let's face it, he's kind of useless in a lot of aspects. Like, he's supposed to stop in, check on her, check on the dogs, conversate with her a little bit because she's had accidents before where she's fallen. She's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
So I go in there, and for my first 3 days that she's watching them, I go every day. and I check in on her, and I sit down for at least an hour to 2 just having conversations, bullshitting around, because guess what? She's not going to be around much longer.
Fair.
I've known her the last 7 years now.
Okay.
She's a great conversationalist. And like her husband was a Marine Corps officer. I forget what he was because it escapes me. My dad got his 45 that was used.
Ooh.
And he sold it. Some bitch. I told him, listen, if you're gonna sell it to me. He didn't.
I think my dad's on the list for another 45 from this. I forget what the organization is. It's doing all the surplus weapons. Same place he got the M1 Garands.
Ooh.
Yeah, those M1 Grands are sexy.
Yeah,
I wish I got
those are
one.
nice.
I want to
Those are so
shoot that
nice.
so bad.
We can take it out.
Because like I used to, like I said, we had those ones that were cement filled that you would like in JROTC that you would flip, have to carry, run around with your head, over your head. I'd like to shoot one. That'd be amazing. And just to hear that ting.
Yeah, we can take it out.
Oh, that'd be great.
Hell
Yeah.
Especially with the weather getting nice. Fuck
Yeah. So
It's about time for range days again. Like the other range, not the golf range.
I want to do both ranges at some point. Like
I mean-
we do the video now on the golf course. I want to do a range day at the range, the shooting range.
I want to do one of the classes from SOB Tactical.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, the old Delta guy.
Yeah.
I think that would be a blast.
I think it'd be fun. You learn a lot for sure.
We should go to a shoot house.
Listen,
We should do a shoot house.
I miss Battle Drill 6 where you would walk through clearing houses.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
I miss that. I keep telling you guys, I want to find property to do that. Set that up like that. Have a range.
Buy the fucking property. Let's go.
Listen, I'm struggling with
Sell
money.
your kids.
You will need substantial insurance.
All right. Well, I think you guys, your camera's dead.
Yeah, it's about that
Oh,
time.
is it?
Yeah, it just
Oh.
popped off.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew
But
that was
anyways,
coming.
It's just the Kevin show now.
That's right. It's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Kevin show.
Yeah, Gamer Show.
It's the Kevin show.
Give me some French fry potatoes.
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry to cut you off, Kevin.
Yeah, you've been doing it the whole time. Why you starting now?
But you need to tell us what the mystery whiskey is.
Oh yeah, we have
yeah.
no idea. Before we get off,
What do you guys have for guesses?
it feels like MGP of some
for-
kind.
Right?
Maker's Mark. 46.
I hate myself.
Is it the stag?
Is it Stag?
22B,
Okay.
130 proof.
Is
Well, listen,
it-
MGP,
is it really?
MGP and Buffalo Trace flavor profiles are very similar.
I didn't even get the proof because I thought it was lower than it was.
It did drink really low proof.
Yes.
Wait, cue the trash can right now because that's fucking embarrassing.
Hey, you had no guess over there.
I
so
don't drink Stag like you guys do. I shouldn't know.
That's
it.
right. I cleared out 2 bottles and I'm
Yeah.
sad about it.
You
I
guys-
haven't had a bottle of Stag open in probably 6 months.
Ooh.
Whoa. What happened? You open other
I have
stuff?
I have a lot. I have enough bottles open that they're like teetering on actually going bad.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to work through what's open.
I could slam those for you.
Turns
When
out,
do they go bad?
Kevin.
So it depends on how much is in the bottle. If it's a half full or better, you've got a couple to 3 years. As it gets down to the bottom, like if you're below 25%, it's like 5 months ish.
Okay, so
And
I got
there's
a
just
couple
too
I got
much.
slammed.
There's just too much room in the bottle that the alcohol starts evaporating, and then when
Yeah.
you open it, you lose the vapors, and it loses proof and flavor.
Got it. That makes sense. All right, well, now we know.
Stag.
Stag.
Mhm.
But anyway, so my brother's supposed to be stopping there to see my grandma and do all that. He fed the chickens. This is his 3rd day feeding the chickens because I've done it all the other times. And then I've checked on the dogs. I've given them food. I've gone there and helped her because they've made a mess. I've had to mop the whole area and all that because for some reason my parents can't train dogs. They just go in the house every once in a while, especially at night. And you're just like, come on, do the right thing. Train your dogs.
So you've had a full docket for like the past 2 weeks.
That was also they left the day before that we went to the range. And like I was late because I was stopping in to see her because I have to make sure she's okay.
No. I understand. Like I get that.
Yeah.
I just, for what we're doing out there,
Yeah.
like it'd be one thing if we were just showing up to golf, but we're setting up cameras and trying to like
Yeah.
shoot intros. Like
It's one of those things, and I apologize entirely for showing up literally on time.
Well, and I'm going to be, if we keep doing it on Tuesday, like, I'm not going to have Tuesdays off at the job.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be trying my best to escape by a certain time to get down there with like an hour to do setup and shoot whatever intro we're going to shoot.
Well, conveniently with the two of us, what's nice is me and Kevin get both carts. We can get everything pretty much ready to go. So you just got to show up.
Well, and I'm probably just going to leave this in here. Like, you can just take it.
Yeah. So we'll square it away.
As long as you have your clubs in the car, you're good.
You just show
Always.
up. You just show up to beat us, and we'll just square everything else away.
Hey, I did win last time.
You cheated last time.
I did not.
You did too.
Is right.
Did you see how I was
You
hitting the
psyched
balls
me
on the
out and
range
everything.
Yeah.
And you're using those dead balls.
Fucking Kirkland.
If you would have actually hit it, it would have went for miles, and we would have had it.
Sandbagging motherfucker.
Dude, even with those Kirklands on the first par 5, I was only like 120 yards out.
Yeah, that was about
that's boast about that.
That was 100 more yards than we were.
Listen, I had some pretty good hits. The problem
Kevin's
is
getting pretty
they
good.
go this way.
Yeah, Kevin's getting good.
You'll figure it out. It takes time.
There
We'll
was
get there.
I was watching that link you sent me to that Instagram.
He's got a ton of drills that work
I'm
really
like,
well.
I will do these drills. Like I was looking at the wall one. I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I have walls.
Yeah, no, those drills are solid. Like, he knows what he's talking about.
See what you've done? You've unlocked the golf monster in Kevin.
My wife called me out on it because of my ADHD. I will get fixated on things, and I will have new things that I want to do. I went through art things, so I've gotten pretty good with it. I've went through leather, woodworking. I want to get through steel, but I have to clean out my garage.
Well,
Now it's golf.
Now you have to clean out your garage so you can put a fucking golf sim in your garage before Lane has one, so you can start fucking practicing
Listen,
even more.
I already got a setup where I can set it up outside and hit into it. It's one of them net things, so I'm already there.
man.
I wish I had the room for one of those.
Oh man.
I'm sitting there hitting off my back, my back porch. I have a decent amount, but I'm hitting pretty good to where I got into the neighbor's yard with little plastic ones. I'm like, I guess I'm stopping this. So,
Right.
and my neighbor back is my kid's. Is one of the superintendents of the school district. I'm like, I guess I shouldn't do
You
that.
probably should be knocking balls over there.
You're going to get a phone call. Your kids are hitting golf balls in the backyard. Yeah, I'll talk to them.
I'll talk to him. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that wasn't them. Actually, if I say it was them, maybe he'll like push him to go golf
There
instead.
you go. Yeah.
Like, oh, he's amazing. He might be PGA at this age, maybe. Anyways, so like I've been doing all that and struggling, and then like the extra work. Like I said, I had a 16-hour one day. I didn't count how many hours this day. I just worked and then got off and then went home, got a shirt on, got a sweater, drove up.
Yeah.
And I still had to stop to see my grandma, so I stopped and did that to make sure my brother fed the animals. There was an issue with one of the dogs digging under the fence and trying to get out, so fix that. Yeah. Anyways, if you made it this far and enjoyed, the tangents of just random bullshit from me and the great stories from Casey and Lane, because the Lord knows they're going to have way better stories than this guy. Go ahead and do the YouTube stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next stream.
Thanks, guys.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Fuck you, Casey.